Hello, listening people.
Hello!
You are listening to Spin Polish Presents Unappreciated Masterpieces. I'm your host, Ryan Sliwinski.
Well, I'm also your host, Bartek.
Thank you, Bartek. See, I was giving you that leeway, so that way I'd be like, I'm your host, and you're like, and I'm your other host, or I'm the host too, and you leaped right onto that hook there. Mm-hmm. And you know what else is a hook? An unappreciated masterpiece. What is an unappreciated masterpiece other than a hook?
You mean the movie Hook?
No. I don't think that's unappreciated, nor a masterpiece.
So what is it?
It is a film.
Oh.
An appreciated mess.
Appreciated?
That is the best way to describe Hook. An appreciated mess.
Alright. Well, speaking of appreciated, get the hell out of here!
Alright.
So, I'm sorry, I almost said the F word, but that's not cool.
You almost said fish.
We'll find out later why I almost said the F word and then I stopped, because this movie taught me that, I'm getting ahead of myself. On Unappreciated Masterpieces, we find movies that are great, but people don't know that they're great. Movies that need love. Maybe some people do love it. Maybe some don't. But we here are going to give love to the movies that we think deserve it. But look, a lot of movies deserve it that do have it. But we mean deserve it, but don't have it. If you follow, ladies and gentlemen. We do audio commentaries while watching these movies. And at one point we're going to do 3, 2, 1, go. And when we say go, you can choose if you want to watch it alongside with us.
Yeah, if you want to be one of the cool kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bartek, with all this said about an unappreciated masterpiece, what is the unappreciated masterpiece that us, Spin Polish, which obviously, if you are long-time listeners, you'll know why we're called Spin Polish, and it's because we're always spitting, and we both happen to be Polish, isn't that right?
Mm-hmm. And we like presents.
So, yes.
This December,
You
Christmas.
said, yeah, Christmas. Oh, are we watching a Christmas movie?
No, that's next week, Ryan.
No, that's next time. That's next episode. If that happens, who knows? The Grinch might happen. We're not doing the Grinch. I fucking hate the Grinch. What's the film?
The film that we are doing today harkens back to... Okay, before I say it, I'm going to refer to the number 2 a fair bit today.
Are you saying that this film's a number 2?
No, but look...
Are you saying it stars Robert Wagner, who starred in the Austin Powers movies as number 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I knew it.
No, it's got Rob Lowe. The reason why is, on this show, I give the... Ryan, just first of all, establish that you don't speak Polish.
I'm not going to say one way or the other.
Okay, he's being modest about his suckiness. The second movie we ever did on this show was Thunderbirds.
Aww.
And back in those days, I didn't give the localized titles of these movies. I just translated them, the words as they were, literally.
Oh, you fucked up.
Yes, unfortunately.
So you should apologize to previous Ryan for not understanding what you were saying.
I'm sorry, suck Ryan.
That's current Ryan. Previous Ryan would have been sucked Ryan. Get
Sucked
it right.
Ryan.
Thank you.
Oh, audience, you don't know why he said thank you, because a physical thing just happened in the room. Anyway, if I could go
a hand job. Go on.
If I could go on with the point I was making, this time the title...
This time the title is... which is a previous guest on the show.
Yes, from 2 episodes ago. Jesus, our guest right now is dying, but we're not gonna acknowledge him yet. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this time the movie once again does not have a localized title, but I will literally translate it just to continue with a tradition that we had at one point, and also to make it so that Ryan can finally admit that he doesn't speak Polish. The movie we are watching today is Grzmot Ptaszki.
Oh, Thunderbirds!
Yes!
2004! You see, I knew that because I've watched the film beforehand. It's
is
always
good.
an elaborate ruse when throughout all of our show, when I say I do not know what the movie is, because of course I know what the movie is, because we've watched it, researched it beforehand, before doing the recording. So of course I know that the film's Thunderbirds. Also, I'm fluent in Polish, but that's the end of that Polish conversation. No more Polish is going to be used in the episode. No need to test me on how Polish I am.
Wait, but
no genetic blood tests are needed. Whoa, I don't need to use any Polish words other than my last name.
But Ryan, what if you need to say the Polish word for soap?
Well, I don't know, man. I'll just have to not say it then. Well, who's our guest? Who's giggling like a schoolgirl? Spoiler alert, it's a man.
Oh, I get it. You said schoolgirl, and they're like, "Oh, it's a girl," but no.
And then he said man, and then he proceeded to go in the background like a girl.
It wasn't even like it was just.
You see, you just did it then, so I'm gonna audio transplant that and put it over your original laugh. And that too, just Bartek. So who is it? They're talking at me. I don't know who they are.
Jesus, usually I give like a kooky introduction, but I think we're out kooked already.
Oh, come on.
We've gone full kook.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a returning guest who's been on the show before.
Some might say victim.
I don't... Now, I don't know this for sure, but I believe the second movie we did this year was Meet Dave?
Yeah, no, that was his first film.
No, the second movie we did in 2016. I believe it was Meet Dave.
Catch That Kid.
Catch That Kid was way back in May.
That was this year. We did Meet Dave before
No,
Catch That Kid.
we did.
We did
Meet
Meet
was
Dave
my
in January.
first, then it was Catch My Kid.
It was the 9th.
Catch My Kid.
No, Catch That Kid. Sorry.
Rhys McKenzie, everyone. Or as we like to know him, the Kid Catcher.
Alright, look, I was trying to make the point. He was in the second movie of 2016. Now he's in the second last episode of 2016 there.
Well, thank you.
That's what
thank
you meant.
Thank you.
I thought you said like his second film
No,
that he did
this-
on the show was Meet Dave, and I'm like, that's wrong. So let's get all this mess out of the way.
Let's let him say hi first.
Hi.
No, Ryan, not you. I'm talking about Rhys. Just because your name also has an R and has 4 letters doesn't mean you're the same person.
Okay, I'll explain myself. It's been an array of emotions since we've started the episode because Ryan admitted he hates the Grinch. I love the Grinch.
I mean, I love the character and the animated one, but I fucking hate the Ron Howard, Jim Carrey Grinch. Fun story about the Grinch. I fell asleep during it in the cinema, as did my father, because did you know the Grinch goes for 3.5 hours? Why is the Grinch the same length as The Godfather Part 2?
It goes for
No one
three-
will know.
It
No
goes-
one knows, because you know why? All kids are dead by the point that movie finishes. And if you look me in the eye and said that a 4-year-old kid sat down and thoroughly watched The Grinch all the way through without getting up at any point in the cinema, without falling asleep or asking to go out, you're lying to yourself.
Just to remind everyone, the movie is Thunderbirds.
Yeah, we're watching Thunderbirds, but fuck the Grinch with Ron Howard. I mean, Jim Carrey's performance is great, but you know what? That's the only thing in the movie that's good. That and his design. The rest of it just looks like Tim Burton did a wet fart.
You don't like their noses?
Fuck them!
You don't like Anthony Hopkins' narration? Like the suit?
No, I could do a better narration. Drunk. Which I assume Anthony Hopkins was. So, we're doing Thunderbirds, the 2004 classic, which was directed by Jonathan Frakes, who is the acclaimed director and actor from Star Trek The Next Generation, known as the character of Commander Riker. You're looking Rhys confused. He directed some great episodes of Star Trek and Star Trek First
gotcha.
Contact.
I think Rhys and I are on the same page. He's an acclaimed director.
He is, of television.
Yeah,
Right.
that makes sense.
That
yeah.
makes sense, yeah.
Because, wait, whoa. Are you saying that Jonathan Frakes is not acclaimed director? Did you not watch the movie Thunderbirds?
Ryan,
yeah.
we know how
Do
this
you
feels.
know what show you're on? Jeez, guys.
We're on the show.
Appreciated Messes.
That's a good title, actually.
We're on the show where we talk about unappreciated masterpieces. Most directors of unappreciated masterpieces, or at least a lot of them, are not acclaimed, and that's the problem that we're trying to fix.
He was acclaimed before doing this, so it's kind of like just a little pet project.
What other films has he done?
Star
first-
Trek Nemesis.
Star Trek First Contact. He does
Wait, First Contact?
think. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought he did a Star Trek film.
Well, if he did Star Trek First Contact, that means he's acclaimed.
There you go. End of that discussion. So, I may be wrong on my Star Trek movie facts there, but, fuck it. We're watching Thunderbirds. Get your copy of Thunderbirds from 2004, the live-action one, of course, not the one with marionettes or one with animation, which is currently out right now, called Thunderbirds Go.
The one with the great DVD menu.
Yes.
Thunderbirds 2004. Get your copy ready, because we're going to start this in 3, 2, 1.
Wait, don't say go. Say Thunderbirds are go. Okay, fine. He's already played it.
I've already played it, so just FYI, guys, Universal logo is playing because, you know what would have been better for this already? I'm making a critique. You know how a lot of Paramount movies do like a little fun thing with their opening logo for whatever movie? Wouldn't it have been cool if the Universal thing just then had Thunderbird 5 just hovering around it?
Yeah, I could see that happening. That would have been
Wouldn't
very
that have been fun?
Yeah, but they didn't think of that, so...
Or wouldn't it have just been amazing if
Studio Canal.
Studio Canal was called Studio Anal? And they only...
When you go to Poland, you'll see that logo a lot.
What, anal?
Studio Canal.
Yeah, is it Polish?
It's not Polish, but it's on a lot of things that are shown in Poland for some reason. They've got like channels that they sponsor, how Fox has channels down here.
Huh.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this is a movie that we haven't talked about our history with. Rhys, let's go with you first.
Yes.
What's your history with this flick?
I saw it in the cinema.
Oh, yeah? How did you feel?
I don't remember.
Then why did you tell us you saw it in the cinema?
Well...
Is he gonna lie?
Yeah, Rhys is a liar.
Oh.
It's true, I am a pathological liar. I have problems. Anyway, moving on. Look, the thing is, I don't remember this. I do remember it being on Foxtel, and that's my history with this film.
Did you like it?
Honestly, I don't know. I do have an opinion on it now.
Well, we'll get to your opinion.
Yeah, later.
Bartek, your history with this film?
I'd never seen the film. I'd only heard of the show, and I knew that it was a puppet show, Marionation, I believe the term is called. I might have seen a second of it on TV once, but I didn't watch it. Because someone who was around, I think my dad mentioned, oh, I don't like that. So I'm like, oh, well, I won't watch it then.
Do you think Ron Cook, who's an actor in this movie, is related to Bruce Cook?
I hope he is.
We all hope.
Yeah.
My history with this is already confusing. Myself, which was, I did not see this in the cinema. Not that confusing, because that always happens. But I swear after watching it last night for preparations for this show, I have seen the movie before. But I'm pretty sure that I've never seen this movie. Also, fun fact, Hans Zimmer did the music, as did Nick Angel, who's music supervisor. Nick Angel, of course, is the music guy for... Edgar Wright movies. Hot Fuzz, hence his name in Hot Fuzz is Nicholas Angel. I found that just a little fun thing here, because I thought the music in this movie, with Hans Zimmer of course being involved, but I thought it was thrilling, fun, exciting. But my history is one where I just go, I swear I've seen this movie before, but I'm pretty sure I've never seen this movie before.
You might have seen movies like it then?
I might have just seen Ben Kingsley in a movie and just went, oh, it's this movie, yeah? Because Ben Kingsley's in this movie. I'm already leaping into Kingsley. I couldn't wait to leap into King. He is great, isn't he?
Yes.
Yes.
He was in a previous film of ours, which was
Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time.
And he's the same character.
Oh.
Same outfit.
I think his character in this one is much more enjoyable.
Whoa. I liked him a lot in this movie. I did. I almost liked him as much in Prince of Persia. You're right, but it's hard to equal them.
It's hard to, but I did.
But you know who's this woman is equal to? In our first episode of the show, we did Big Fat Liar. In which, what was her name? Sandra Oh, I think is her name.
Yep. I could remember.
Played bitch teacher. She has not been beaten in bitch teacherness until now. This woman is evil. She's great. I wish that... Would it be great if she was Ben Kingsley's, wife.
No, mistress. That would work better.
His
Mistress.
no, that's the nerdy chick.
Oh.
That's and then like this would be her. No, I was also saying, wouldn't it be great if it was Ben Kingsley? Like she just like took off her hair and it cut back to him being like horrified, and it cuts back to her and it says Ben Kingsley in a dress.
Well, Ryan, that's just silly. Oh, principal.
Oh, also, I got very confused by the editing just then. I think it was good because it was like, oh, they're outside, but it looks like these guys are inside, but they're
Yeah.
interacting with each other. What's happening? And then you get this shot to show you that the inside is outside,
Yep.
which is great.
That's deep.
It's almost as deep as the color palette of this movie. This color palette has a lot of warm, inviting colors. It kind of just oozes onto the screen. You know how I describe the color of this movie? Blonde. Because a lot of the characters are blonde in this movie, and I feel like it has a kind of blonde tone.
Yeah.
Blonde color palette. Like everything's that kind of yellowy orange. I like it. It's very interesting. I wonder if Jonathan Frakes did that on purpose. Of course he did.
He's very particular. He chose the main actor, child actor, Bradley Corbet, because he is blonde.
Is it Bradley? Brady.
Oh,
Get it fucking right.
I was close.
He's one of the bunch.
What?
He's what?
Brady.
Brady Bunch.
he was
Is that okay, reference. He made a reference. Or
Oh,
just
he
clap,
made a-
clap. Made a reference.
Fuck yeah!
Wait, so which one of the Oh, okay. Okay, I see it now.
No, it was a joke, Rhys. It was a joke.
Also, we missed a great moment of cinema at the very beginning. I was talking about that teacher. I don't know if you noticed this. I feel like Bartek would have definitely noticed this. One of the kids in the foreground of the shot held up his arm and did the loser sign to our main character. It was so nonchalant and hidden in the shot that I actually rewound it and went, is he doing... Oh my god, he's doing the loser sign. I haven't seen that in years.
Yeah, it's the same deal. Now, if you'll notice, I love this part of the movie where they're just watching the Thunderbirds do their thing right now.
Oh, yeah?
And then eventually you'll get to see the children to do something very, very weird. It'll come up soon, I hope.
Well, you say weird, but remember, they're private school kids, so
Yeah.
it's fairly normal, you know? Like, all
yeah.
private school kids are freaks.
Is it an all-boys school?
That's it.
Oh, there-
That's it. That's it.
I wrote that down in my notes, which was hair gesture time. In fact, I don't have my notes in the room right now, but in my notes, I wrote a lot of something time. Like, you know, like fight time or like bee time, or a lot of... This movie really evoked a period, like a feeling that there's lots of periods of time that happen in this movie. And then you find out like this movie is one of those that takes place in like a week as well. Like it's only within a couple of days,
Yeah,
maybe
this
a
one's
week.
not as long as a week.
Nah.
I
Well,
think
not
from
really
this
a week.
opening sequence on, maybe it's like 4 days.
It's not as long as Thunderpants, at least.
No, nothing's as long as Thunder.
Which, by the way, let's try not to accidentally say Thunderpants throughout this episode.
So Thunderpants won here.
That would have been a great time.
No. When I was watching this, I wanted to know if you guys felt the same about this certain character that's gonna pop up in the show. We get a lot of bully characters.
Yes. I'm glad you're bringing this up.
Did you think that this bully character here that
Yeah.
walks in was who looks like Frankie Muniz, by the way?
He does.
Did you think he was going to come back and affect the plot in any manner?
I thought it was going to be like big... Well, not as sort of minimal as Big Fat Lie, but more so. Like, he would have been involved a little bit more, have a little character development.
Well,
but
no, the thing with me is I simply wanted an explanation for Diaper Boy.
Yeah, like why is he called that?
Like, is that a reference to the series? Is that like something?
I don't think
in
this
the backstory?
character exists in the series.
I can't imagine he does.
No.
I think this is, and see, Brains, I don't think had a kid. Talking about Thunderbirds and Thunderpants. Thunderpants came out first.
2002.
Did this copy Thunderpants, or did Thunderpants copy Thunderbirds, the original? Like, there was no kid brain, was there? I can't remember. I've watched the show, I just can't remember.
No.
And this kid reminds me of Rupert Grint in Thunderpants. Like, he's just like, I watched Thunderpants, and now I'm gonna be him, but in Thunderbirds, and no one will know. Oh, I noticed, you little fuck. He was my favorite character.
Rupert Grint or the kid?
The kid in this.
Right.
What was his name? He had a great name.
Ferdinand?
Not Franz Ferdinand. That guy got assassinated.
That was World War One.
That was a World War One reference for
No, I was
you,
I
for
thought it
you
was like-
true
I thought it
history
was-
fans.
I thought it was the duck from Babe, like Ferdinand, you know.
No, it was Furlong. Or...
Ferdinand.
No, not Edward Furlong.
Fermat. That's it.
Fermat.
Oh yeah, Fermat Fulton, isn't it?
Yeah, I love. And it's great because he stutters, so it'd be like, which we'll get into. So, tell me about your experience watching this movie, Bartek, because you said you hadn't watched it before, but you own this on DVD.
Yes.
Give us a bit of an rundown on you watching this.
Well, just to explain the DVD, this is one movie in a 5-pack. It was a 5 comedy pack with the second Mr. Bean movie. I'm listing this on the order on the cover. The second Mr. Bean movie, the first Mr. Bean movie, Small Soldiers, Thunderbirds, and Mystery Men, which I believe we'll do on the show at some point, right?
What, Mystery Men?
Yeah.
Maybe, arguable.
There is
also, this kid, I thought he was going to come
Yes.
back.
I did too.
Aliens. I was like, oh, they're introducing a new character, but go on.
So I bought this 5-pack, I think the same day I bought Year One back in May 2016. Little history lesson for you guys.
Very good.
That was a long time ago.
Because I used to own Small Soldiers on DVD, but I think it was like given away or something. So I wanted it back. Plus, I liked the Mr. Bean movies, so that was a bonus. And then Thunderpants and Mystery Men were just 2 extra things that happened to be there. Didn't really.
Thunderbirds.
Did I say? See, I already said Thunderpants. Yeah. Thunderbirds and Mystery Men happened to be 2 extra things that were there. I'm like, oh, okay, 2 extra movies. Why not? Got it for $6. No, $3 actually.
Can I bring up a problem with your DVD? It says it's a 5-pack, right?
Yeah.
And it has 5 discs in it.
Yeah.
On the side of your DVD, it has 6 movie titles.
Does it?
Yes.
No, it doesn't.
Mr. Bean's Holiday, Being the Ultimate, Disaster Movie.
No, that's being
Being
the
the
ultimate
ultimate
disaster
disaster
movie. You
It's
fucking
not.
moron.
It's not.
If you're gonna correct someone's DVD, make sure that you've done the research, buddy.
I have
Go on.
disgraced
It's not-
myself.
I'm trying to listen to Bartek's soliloquy here. Go on, Shakespeare.
Where was I up to?
You're up to the fact that it cost $3
Yeah. It says $6 on the cover, but I got it for half price.
because you gave them a wicked blowjob.
No, because I also bought.
Thumbs up.
No, Ryan, this is gonna make you go, oh fuck. I bought it along with Year One, and Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh, no longer a kid's selection.
Well, Freddy Got Fingered's a kids movie. Have you not watched it?
It's not really a kid's movie.
Ah,
because
you
it
haven't
doesn't
watched
really-
it. Yeah, you haven't
doesn't
watched it. I'm
I have
discrediting him.
watched it.
I don't think he's watched it.
It doesn't display proper movie qualities. It's,
Ryan, in our Meet Dave episode, he's saying, Daddy, would you like some sausage? Do not question Rhys.
Thank you. So you watched this film. You bought
Yes.
it on DVD. You hadn't seen it before, and you didn't watch it until for this experience. Was it an enjoyable experience? Did it make
Yeah.
your Thunderbird go?
Yes, it did. Thunderbirds were go, Ryan.
Rhys, did it make your Thunderbird were go?
no, but Anthony Edwards. I love Anthony Edwards. I love him so much.
Is that the brains?
Yeah, that's Brains. He was
It's
in
no
a
Bill Paxton, but no one is. Go on, Bartekian.
Oh, well, back to me.
Back to Bartek.
Back to Bartek segment.
Back to Bartek, the
Back
new
to-
hit show on
Back to
CBS.
Bartek.
Hello, Bartek segment brought to you by dildos.
Colostomy bags.
I mean, condoms. I mean, dildos on condoms.
It's
and-
funny because Bartek's never used any of
It's
those.
actually, but this segment is brought to you by Dildo Whips.
Have you used dildos, Ryan?
I've used colostomy bags.
Oh, Ryan.
Go on.
Again, where am I up to?
You up to using dildos?
DVD. I got it for half price. Freddy Got Fingered. Spoiler alert: he didn't actually get fingered.
That's what I watched it for.
Well.
Oh, did I like it? Yes, I did like it. It did remind me of, as you've stated on this show, the Munez era. The mid-2000s or early to mid-2000s era of kids' movies that have a nice sort of unique, idiosyncratic attitude about them. I read online that the fans of the original Thunderbirds, the TV series, are not too happy with this movie because they made it like super kid friendly, like you're watching the kids the whole time. and that it didn't capture the spirit of the show well, despite the music being good, and Lady Penelope and Parker also being good.
And Ben Kingsley, obviously.
Oh, of course.
And Ben Kingsley.
Good Parker impersonation.
No, I thought you were going to say good Ozzy Osbourne
because
impersonation.
Parker's English and he's very like, madam, like when he sees her like naked a lot, like he gets all very like, oh my, oh. Did you not see that sequence in which she's like in the bathtub and he's all like, oh, madam, like he's got his English erection.
I don't seem to remember him caring. Also, I don't think he stutters that much.
You have to watch it again. There's a lot of sexual tension. No, I mean this. There's a lot of sexual tension between her and him.
There are sexual tension between them.
And he's very like, oh my, like, oh, he's overwhelmed by the possibilities.
I thought that he handled it like a champ.
He did.
I thought he was a gentleman.
He handled it like a gentleman, but he still was a man.
Yeah.
He was a gentle man.
A gentleman with red cheeks. He had a lot of red cheeks in this film.
And that's not a euphemism for erection.
I was saying to Rhys on the car ride over here, because we came by car,
Is that how you come?
Oh no, Ryan, you just revealed it. In the whole world of sarcastic British butlers, he's one of the more jolly ones.
Is he sarcastic? Ever?
Well, his tone seems to imply it.
But he's not actually sarcastic.
He's never been sarcastic.
Well,
He's very
sarcastic's
gentlemanly.
not really the right word, but...
Surly?
Snarky, maybe?
Snarky. Snarky is the term.
Yes.
Smirky.
In the whole world of snarky
Smirky.
British butlers, he's one of the more not savage, I suppose.
Yeah, he's not, Alfred in The Dark Knight.
He'll high-five a kid for doing something good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he won't like you when you touch his Ford, basically. Because all the cars in this film are Ford.
Are they? I thought they were Prius.
Really?
No.
Oh.
You idiot. You know who else is in this movie? Bill Paxton, who's right here. We all know Bill Paxton, don't we?
Terminator.
Why no? Aliens.
Whoa. Terminator, yeah, but Aliens, definitely. Aliens, I think he's in Predator 2.
Yes, he was in Predator 2. Died pretty...
He's also in Terminator.
Yeah, but like, his most iconic is...
Terminator.
No, Aliens. He has the great line of,
Well...
Game over, man! It's game over!
Well, to quote...
His most iconic role is Thunderbirds.
Well, no, his most iconic quote is from Terminator, where he says, "Hey, fuck you, asshole!" Which is what I'm saying to you right now.
Everyone quotes that line. Specifically, the thing about Bill Paxton is, he's one of those actors that's really hard to pin down. He's a character actor for sure, but he's kind of like, I guess you would say, weirdly enough, completely different spectrum, but in terms of character actors that are hard to nail down, Robbie Coltrane.
Right.
Who's Hagrid. They're both very hard to pin down into what character are they, because they've got a certain build about them. Both very different. Very different. Robbie Coltrane's a big guy. Bill Paxton's just an average guy. But both of them are very hard to pin down in what character type do they fit in. Like, Bill Paxton plays, I guess, a jerk a lot. That's like, I guess his character type is jerk.
So when you say character type, you mean like what they're most likely to be
cast in, yeah.
Yeah, what they're most
typecasted in.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What
character type? Yeah, what character? Because you have character actors like Steve Buscemi. He's great, but he's a character actor. He always plays, most of the time, plays creeps or kind of awkward. Rob Schneider's not an actor. He's a god. And I feel like Bill Paxton's one of those great actors that is really unappreciated. And that's why this movie's double unappreciated, because it has an unappreciated actor in an unappreciated masterpiece.
It also has Anthony Edwards. It should be appreciated, because you don't get to see him a lot these days.
What, is he dead?
No, he's alive. Just he doesn't do much.
Wait, are you sure? It's 2016. People are dead left and right.
Oh, in a couple of weeks will be 2017.
And then they'll be definitely dead.
Damn it.
So what else is he in, Rhys? You seem to be a big fan.
Top Gun. He plays Goose.
Oh.
So a lot of Top Gun fans will be very happy to see him alive.
So this is what Goose turned into, huh?
Yes.
A stutterer.
He's also in a series called ER, if you'd remember.
Oh, My favourite TV show.
And
It's about zombies, yeah?
Is that
no,
Is that an
Oh,
Addams
it's-
Family spin-off?
Oh, it's the Canadian cop show.
no.
See, Addams Family
Oh,
spin-off.
so that's A.
It's I'm stuttering now. Like brains are okay. No, it's I give up. I'm sorry.
I would
Lost
if
it.
I was you.
Throw
Give
the
up.
towel.
I was gonna say he's in Revenge of the Nerds as well. The first one.
Is he a nerd?
Yes,
But he was also Goose. He's got range.
he's got range. That
In 2004.
I
Did you
was
have?
once.
Did you have a sand skipper? I guess is what I'm gonna call this. That's sand, yeah. He puts sand in there, and it turns into a solid disc and skips across the water. Yeah.
FAB, Ryan.
You know what that is, don't you? FAB.
I know what they mean when they say it, and I know what it stands for.
What does it stand for?
It means
I know what it means.
for always brothers.
For always brothers.
But they use it to mean like basically Roger or got it.
Or over or out.
Yeah, it means like they understand what they've been told. Like
Yeah.
Roger, I'll do it.
Rhys, did you know that? Even though at no point in the film did they ever mention that?
Well,
well,
I'll let Rhys answer first.
I wasn't paying attention. What were you saying? Sorry.
Fuck off, give up.
We're talking about the FAB that they keep saying.
FAB.
I don't know what it stands for.
It means for always brothers, which is never explained in the movie, and I had to Google it. Apparently, only one issue of the comics ever pointed out what it meant. So it's a common thing to Google.
Oh, good. Yeah, because when I wrote FAB, it literally came up with Thunderbirds. Like in Google search.
Yeah.
Like when you had that auto guess thing or whatever, it's just like Thunderbirds? And I'm like,
Oh,
you
did
know.
you mean? Not did you mean, but like, yeah, suggestions.
Suggests. So FAB, guys, this movie is FAB.
It's fab.
I wrote that in my notes a lot. Fab. Take a drink every time they say FAB. You'll have a good night, I reckon, Rhys.
Yeah, I think.
No, don't. Hey, look, it's Jared Leto.
Fight Club Jared Leto. Yeah.
Yeah, Blondie. Yeah, and he gets beat the fuck up by space in this one, so it's really good. There he is, Kingsley. You know what's really great about Ben Kingsley being in this? He opens up with a Shakespearean villain monologue, and he did the exact same thing in Prince of Persia.
He probably did.
You know, he does that in every movie. You know what? I'm getting the feeling that Ben Kingsley's not a very good actor. Yeah, I mean.
So what?
Are you losing faith in Ben Kingsley, Ryan?
Hey,
think-
whoa! That's those are fighting words.
Those
Rhys.
are fighting words, but this movie is a great film, but it's revealing something to me.
It's revealing something.
Bill Paxton is playing against character type in this, which is jerk. Even though I said it's very hard to pin him down, that's, if you had to, jerk.
Well, yeah, Terminator.
Ben Kingsley, yeah, he was a hero. Ben Kingsley
Ben Kingsley
has
wasn't
been
in
playing Ben Kingsley in every movie.
Terminator. Okay.
Ever. Except for Gandhi, which is the one that everyone goes, oh, well, he was great in Gandhi. I actually want to go back and watch Gandhi and see if he was. Do you ever get that with certain actors where you're like, if I actually go back and look at the work that they're so-called accredited for being great in, they're not. Like, do you wonder that? Like,
Actually,
what-
that has happened more times than usual. Every time I have to go back and appreciate something, I don't appreciate it because I get so high expectations. I should always make him so negative with the expectations.
and is that why people didn't like Thunderbirds? 'Cause
Yeah,
they're
they-
freaks like you.
What country is the movie Gandhi made in?
Gandhi,
Yeah, is it like an American film? Is it Indian?
It's British.
British.
British. Okay.
Because
Richard
is it-
Attenborough.
Ben Kingsley's British too.
Well, he's Indian.
And he's Indian, but he's British as well.
Okay.
is-
But he
Have
wasn't.
you-
He wasn't always English though. That's
I don't know Ben Kingsley's backstory.
from what I
I
understand.
say backstory because he's a villain in real life, so I imagine he's constructed a James Bond-like backstory.
So you don't know his story, basically.
I don't know his backstory or his motivations. He's English, yeah. Like he's got Indian and like he's got
I don't know about his origins, but I do know that he changed. I
origins.
think he changed it. Well, origins.
yeah.
Yeah, I think he changed his name. So I don't know what his name was originally.
His name was Mahatma Gandhi. We already went over this.
All I know about his origins. I was about to say oranges. Sorry.
Thank you for apologizing and pointing out.
You could have let that go,
All
not
I know-
embarrass yourself.
I didn't actually know that he was of Indian descent. I was actually quite surprised. He doesn't look like Indian descent.
He kind of does.
He does.
Speaking of looking like Indian, Survivum.
What?
Vanessa Hudgens.
Was that Vanessa Hudgens?
You didn't know?
That is Vanessa
Far
Hudgens.
out. I didn't realize that
didn't-
was her.
I didn't know either until I looked it up in the middle of the movie. I'm like, oh my god, it's Survivor!
I never saw her. I never noticed her name in the opening credits.
Is she Indian?
No, it's Vanessa Hudgens from High School Musical and Band Slam.
But is she Indian?
No.
No,
Oh, okay.
She is. Wait. She's supposed to be related to Ben Kingsley. So why
She's
isn't
a
she
niece.
Indian? Yeah, that's related. And did
Yeah.
you notice her father is way more Indian than
Yep, yep,
Ben
yep.
Kingsley?
Yep.
So if anything, she should be very Indian. Or Asiatic, at least, because we don't know where they came from in this story. Because he seems to be adopting a lot of more kind of Chinese, I would say, mysticism and stoicisms and
His
all that.
ship has like kind of
Dragons and...
yeah.
and-
I won't be specific, but it has like kind of Asian designs.
Yeah.
Which, India's obviously, argue with me you like, but at the moment it's still a part of Asia. It's part of the Asian continent.
It is Asian, but people don't really think Asian when they look at Indians.
No, exactly, and or their culture too much. Like they're their own thing. But he's not Indian in this, but his brother is. But they adopt like this Chinese mysticism and cultural value to them, or that kind of area. Like he's got the kind of look about him.
Yeah, you're right. He's got a dragon on the back of his
Yep,
cloak
yep.
thing.
And he's wearing red. And I don't know what that
Red
means.
means beware.
Well, that's just making me think Chinese.
Yeah.
But that's because of communism. So.
What is the red mean in Chinese? You know how white means death?
I know it does in Japanese.
Oh, is that Japanese?
I know it does in Japanese. I don't know if... But I've heard that it's an Asian thing, so some Asian countries
Asian
also
thing.
adopt it, so I'm
I
not quite
forgot.
sure.
Is Bruce Lee Chinese?
Yeah.
Yes, some Chinese, yes. I don't know which
Because
one.
he wears white in his movies to represent death. I think it's a Chinese thing, isn't it?
It's
I'm
definitely
just-
Japanese, but it might also be Chinese.
I'm just nailing it down. I thought red means love.
In some...
Wait.
Isn't
in-
it that they wear that to weddings and stuff? And white
yeah,
is
they
death?
do.
So he's in love! He's in love!
With Bill
To
Paxton.
be fair though, red is interpreted in many different ways.
Yeah.
Red-
And this is
It
villainous.
could mean romance, it could mean blood, which is like death.
It could mean
in a
mourning.
way, or like associated. Sort of.
It could mean lust. So that's Vanessa Hudgens. Shit.
Yeah, that's
I,
Survivor.
I did look at the cast, and I just didn't register that
Yeah,
Tintin.
me neither.
Tintin.
Tintin, yeah. That was very interesting. They named her.
I know this woman from the TV show Black Books.
Oh, who's she?
Oh, who's she?
She plays Bernard's summer girl in the Heat Wave episode of Black Books, where Manny suffers from Dave syndrome, and Bernard wants to have a girlfriend for the summer break, and he's like, I'll get myself a summer girl, and then I'll ditch her in the autumn because she's my summer girl.
The apartment episode,
Yeah.
right? Where Fran's apartment is moved and she's the girl that...
Yeah.
Oh, she does.
They've just
It
put
is
phony
her.
teeth in her.
No, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've seen Black Books.
That's my favorite episode for you long-term listeners. If we ever do a trivia of Spit and Polish and they're like facts about us, one of them will be like, what's Ryan's favorite episode of Black Books? And it's the Heatwave episode, because that episode is a masterpiece. So I'll fight you if you don't think otherwise. So, have you seen Thunderbirds? You guys not too much?
The
we
series, no.
haven't seen it at all.
No.
Not. He has seen a bit. Well,
Wait, what?
You know, he just said he
I
hasn't.
haven't seen it.
I thought you said in your intro that you saw it brief. Or was it you?
I said I saw like a second of the show.
So you never seen Ben Kingsley's character?
No.
In the
I've seen
marionettes?
I've seen a picture of the hood.
The Hood. We'll get to the name. He in the marionette show. I remember his eyes light up, like when he's doing his powers. For some reason, I thought he could control people. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't gotten my facts, but
I read that they changed his powers.
his eyes light up, and since he was a marionette, he just stuck light bulbs, little lights in his eyes, and they would flash. Like,
Was it charming, Ryan?
it actually was menacing because they would do
Oh.
the the very dramatic lighting for his character, which we see in this movie quite a lot. There's a sequence in this movie, we haven't gone past it yet, near the end of the film, where Bill Paxton sees Ben Kingsley for the first time, and he's got this really dramatic lighting. That's the kind of lighting they would use for him a lot in the TV show, or a good portion of it, at least that I can recollect. And when he would do his flashing lights, they would have this really dramatic lighting, so it looked kind of corny but menacing at the same time. It's kind of weird how this show where puppets and marionettes are doing stuff, and we now live in a world where Team America's happened.
Yes. Yeah.
So looking back at this movie based on the marionettes and looking at the marionettes, it's kind of like hard not to think of it in a more joking fashion, but the show could be quite intense. The show could actually be quite poignant on issues and villainy and heroicisms and all that. And it's a well-constructed show. It's basically the alternatives to the Muppets. Like, the Muppets are great. You know what I mean? Like, Jim Henson did a lot for pushing the boundaries of puppetry and that stuff, but Jerry Anderson did the exact same, but for marionettes. He did a bunch of other TV shows with marionettes. Captain Scarlet, all this kind of stuff. He did a very interesting work with that. So
Jim Henson kind of kept it to skits, whereas this guy
He
kind of
did-
brought it to serialization.
he basically would have, if he had the ability to, would have made spy TV shows like James Bond on TV and stuff like that with animation like that we have today. But he didn't have that, so he used marionettes.
Cool.
There's the different way of telling it. You know, you look into him. He's a very interesting guy. What?
Nothing.
You got a problem?
No. Actually, I do have a problem.
What?
Nothing.
That was cute. I think Rhys was laughing because of how long it took you to say the word "you." I don't know.
It just reminded me of what I would do, Ryan. It's all right.
Wow.
Do we need to take a deep breath or something, guys?
No.
Because we're becoming a little bit like brains here.
No, we're becoming like them in the spaceship with the air being filtered out and heat rising.
It's not that bad of a room in here, Ryan. It's quite nice.
Are you saying that my room that we do this podcast in is nothing like a spaceship? I'm very disappointed. That's the aesthetic I go for.
Your room is quite like a spaceship.
It is. You got a sci-fi poster there.
Yeah, two actually.
Willem Dafoe staring at me.
I haven't. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, Bartek's indicating that he's never watched A Clockwork Orange. Oh, Bartek. So, we watched this movie.
Yeah, we're doing it again. Too.
Yeah.
And we're watching it again with subtitles. This is my favourite line. That line there. Did you find any children? The way he says it is exactly this way. He goes, did you find any children? It's great.
You know what, I actually agree. It was quite odd of him saying like that. It must have been like he had said it for the 100th time and he was just sick of saying that line over.
Did you find any children? It's good. Ben Kingsley's fucking knocking it out of the park. How did he not get an Oscar for this? There's several times in which he just says lines of dialogue with this attitude of, I don't give a fuck. And he does. He clearly does. Like, you know, he's embodied the character. Who was your favourite character? Mine, obviously, Ben Kingsley, the Hood.
I thought you said Fermontes.
He was good. He's like my favourite of the main cast. Ben Kingsley's like the villain.
Right.
You have to separate good and evil.
This is another very tough one. I feel like Ben Kingsley is the obvious answer, but there are quite a number of characters in this movie that have a lot of quirks about them that are endearing. But I think I might have to, like a doofus, agree with you and say the exact same answer that yes, Ben Kingsley might be my favourite character in this movie.
Good. I'm very proud. Did you find any children? Rhys? He said it exactly like that.
I'm going to say the butler.
Ah, yes.
It'll be between those two.
I mean,
for me.
Ben Kingsley was very, very, very good in this role. I mean, the way he says lines is just beautiful. Oh, wait, no, this bit. Sorry, I just got to mention this bit. It's the Nickelodeon Choice Awards.
Well, it's funny because it's Vanessa Hudgens, so, yeah.
Yep. Slime.
Of course it's her. I just thought that was Tintin, the animated cartoon / comic strip.
Oh, I didn't see that reference coming.
Didn't you? Fine, I'll make a different reference. I thought it was Tintin, the Steven Spielberg animated film.
I didn't even think of that.
Oh, I actually liked that film. It was quite nice.
Yeah, remember the best part of that film was the casting of Nick Frost and Simon Pegg as Thompson and Thompson? who, spoiler alert, are my favourite characters from Tintin. Did you know that Thompson and Thompson, I think, aren't even brothers? They're just two officers that work together, and they're both called Thompson and Thompson.
So there are no references to their brotherhood or whatever.
I don't think they're brothers.
Well, hold on. Weren't their names also spelt differently?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So they're not even related, but they look the exact same. I love it.
So one has a crush on the other one then. If they're
Why do
trying
you
to-
say that?
Well,
Why do you have to homosexualize
I'm
everything?
not. I'm not. I'm just simply.
I'm not!
Oh, God.
I think what Rhys is trying to say is homo means same, but they got like the same pronunciation.
No, I think he was like, he wants to have sex with that guy.
What I'm trying to say is that maybe one of the Thompsons has such an intense plutonic love for one another that they want to look exactly like the other Thompson.
Oh.
Also, one of them's obsessed with the other.
Yes.
But
Wait,
which one?
what?
Which one?
Platonically obsessed.
Okay.
Like, he's like, admires him so much he wants to be him, but which one? Which one?
Also, one of them like has their own movie. Where it's like, I'm gonna become like Thompson.
I'm gonna say Thompson without the P.
You know, this reminded me of Star Wars a lot. Like the feeling
Oh,
of
yeah,
Vader tempting Luke.
Yeah, the end of Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, it's very...
I just like he said.
With a
"Open
mixture of-
the door."
With a mixture of Palpatine action. Here's something I find very confusing. So does he does not have mind control abilities.
Here, he only has telekinetic abilities.
And telepathy, because he could read into what the kid was feeling, or at least empathy, like he can empathize with people. Like in Star Trek, The Next Generation, which Jonathan Frakes was in, there was a character which was an empath, Deanna Troi. Her ability was to look like she could feel
this is one of my
what
favorite
other
Ben
people's
Kingsley
feelings.
moments.
Oh yeah.
The dodge. Dick.
You know what's funny? It looked like he's a puppet.
Well, it is based on a marionation.
So is...
The best thing is he does it again.
Yeah, but he does it better. Here's a question. I've really got... Oh, that line was great.
Yeah. Get them!
Get them! A question I really got to ask is, do you think that this movie failed because it wasn't animated or marionated? The fact that it was live action.
I think it failed because it tried to be like Spy Kids in a way.
What?
I just think like
What?
Would-
Nothing like Spike.
listeners, if you're wondering what's happening, Ryan has given me the folded arms look.
Yeah, what? Saying it looks like Spike is
Just concentrating on the kids when I believe the series is just about the 5 Thunderbirds basically, and Lady Penelope and their butler, and like
and the hood.
yes, and the hood. I think that's what made it fail. It was just a carbon copy.
Oh, okay. You're giving us that kind of answer, are you?
Oh.
Bartek, do you think...
I've been shunned.
Do you think... You're being... This is the episode called Unappreciated Masterpieces. Rhys gets shunned. Next to Freddy got fingered,
Oh,
Rhys
God.
got shunned.
Ryan, you're so brutal to Rhys.
I'm brutal?
Brutal.
No, you said brutal.
You're brutal to me now.
I
Why
don't
is brutal?
speak Polish, or do I?
Because I was going to say, in the last episode we had him on, you had that whole thing of, like, Rhys is racist towards Asians and stuff.
He is.
And then he...
Nice drawers, guys. You know what? Fermat does have nice drawers.
Yeah.
Like that. I would actually want those. Like, I like that style. The color. I think they look
The red
good.
and the black.
Yeah, red, black, a bit of white. It looked great. Not saying that I want his specific ones. I feel they'll be a bit too small.
Yeah. Well,
Well, you're skinny, Ryan.
yeah.
Oh,
you'll be
okay
able to fit
then.
in there.
Skinny guys can fit into child-sized underwear. Good idea, guys. Just because I'm skinny doesn't mean I don't have testicles.
You're
Oh,
gay?
What?
I don't know, he brought up homosexual before I wanted to know.
Bartek, you stop projecting your feelings onto me.
Anyway, when are you going to ask me the same question you asked Rhys?
Ditto. Bartek?
What was the question?
Did it fail? I asked
Ah.
it in general and Rhys just jumped in. And then I said, what about you, Bartek? And then Rhys had to jump in with kids' underwear.
I didn't say
Reese
anything
had
about
the-
underwear.
Here you go on again, Rhys.
I didn't say. Oh, I'm just gonna shut up. I've been
Reese-
shunned already.
Rhys is jumping in kids' underwear. What kid did you have to take to get those? Go,
You
Bartek.
could have just bought the
Go, Bartek, go.
So, I mentioned before that fans of the TV show were not happy with this movie. And, just to let you guys know, I've brought in Roger Ebert's review. I'm going to read from it a bit later, but he talks in there about how this movie was just targeted at the wrong audience. How this film is... Oh, you're right, he does blush a lot, Rhys.
Look at this, but while you're talking, just look at this scene and how he's kind of reacting around her a little bit, like, oh boy. Like, he's like, I don't want to, ooh. But go on.
It also kind of looked like he just wanted to watch TV, Ryan. And I can sympathise. Back in 2004. In Roger Ebert's review, he talks about how...
Go on.
I don't know, these guys are pointing and I got a little flustered, so I stopped talking. What? Why are you pointing at him, Rhys?
He's blushing!
Oh, okay.
But look at him. He's like English gentleman embarrassed to kind of look at her because he's got a sexual feeling towards her a little bit. Like he's got that little thing of, oh boy.
Or he's a raging alcoholic.
She did say he had a checkered past.
Oh, okay.
But Bartek, you were saying?
Right. I'll try saying it again.
How are you?
It was targeted at the wrong audience in that this movie is a kids' movie. And the show, which I'm led to believe is targeted at like the general family kind of dynamic.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, and because again, the property it's a British property, but this film is an American film, and apparently in America, the Thunderbirds property wasn't that well known.
This film's American, English, and French.
Mm-hmm.
Canadian, I think.
Well, yeah, the people who made the film. And it's basically theorized by Mr. Ebert, the antagonist of our show, that it was the marketing that was the problem with this film's success, as well as the fans not liking it.
Fucking marketing, huh?
Although I will say though that at the bottom of the review there is a comment, only one comment. A girl who really liked this movie because she liked the lead character because he was blonde.
So...
I mean, Bradley Corbet does...
Brady! Get it right. We already discussed...
Brendan.
We already... Yeah! Bradford! Jeez.
Bartek.
I don't think I'll get it right, ever.
Call him B.
Go, Rhys, go.
Is that a song, Ryan? Go, Rhys, go?
Blushing.
No, he's got a skin disease.
He does?
He's got a flesh-eating skin disorder. He's English.
Dude, it's makeup.
Dude, it's clearly not makeup.
Dude, what does mine say?
Sweet. What does mine say?
Dude, what does mine say?
We're never going to do that movie on this show. It's too appreciated.
I never said we would.
I'm just saying it now. Before Rhys suggests it. I can feel it on his breath.
You can smell the peanut butter and
No,
jam
I said I could
toast.
feel it.
Wait, hold on.
How can you feel a breath? He can't physically,
Wait,
take the
have
breath.
you never felt someone breathe? Is he insane? Why is he here?
You can't take a breath from your hands and feel it with your own fingers.
No, but you know the rest of your body has a sense of touch, right?
Oh.
Like a sense of sensation.
Oh, sorry.
What kind of freak are you, Ryan?
You know what the best part of that was?
What?
I said I could feel it on your breath, and Rhys just goes, oh, I don't think you can grab someone's breath and stroke it.
I've realised what I've done, and I'm not for the next minute.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna shut up.
Man, I can feel the wind. What? You're telling me that you just grabbed the wind with your bare hands and stroked it? Run your fingers through it? You're insane, Ryan. There's too much of it.
I've done something.
His answer there was a social commentary on how atheists confirm their anti-beliefs.
You can't feel breath, Ryan. You know what? I can't. You're right. I can't feel it.
That's not gonna leave me, is it?
It's gonna haunt. It's gonna haunt you at night when you're alone.
Oh, something got me about this scene. They were fine at the bottom, and now they're tired. Like
Because Vanessa Hudgens is going way too hard for them. She's got powers. Yeah, can we talk about the powers, Bartek?
Yeah.
Is that all you got to say, Ryan? We're talking about powers.
Excuse me, the Asian powers? slashed with Indian,
Well,
so going
you
actually is important. So do not give me this shit.
Thank you, Ryan. That's the answer I wanted.
So she has the powers, and they're like, okay, so this is not a fault of this film. I think this is genius because it's not clear on how the powers work. It's never fully explained. Maybe it's a reference to the TV show. Like, the TV show probably has more, and obviously this film is leading up to have sequels, which, spoiler alert, never happened. And it's not explained how the powers work. They say, because they're related, so it goes down gene by gene. But then she is wearing this necklace, and she holds it when she's using her powers. But Ben Kingsley doesn't have any such item. Like, we don't see a medallion on him or anything. And it seems like Ben Kingsley, before the accident that we get slight backstory on, which was he got left to die in a cave-in on a diamond mine.
Mine.
Mine. He didn't have powers before that?
That's
And
not
now
established, is it?
No, he does. His brother was like, I didn't realize he was alive. And he's just like, Ben Kingsley makes a flippant remark about like, oh, you thought my body was destroyed, but oh, brother, you haven't seen what my mind can do. That kind of line indicates that before he didn't have these mind powers.
I would say that either indicates that or that he kept it secret.
No, I don't think so, because Ben Kingsley and his brother seem to be like comrade in arms, because his brother was at the mines as well. And they only separated because the other one got saved, the other one got left for dead, and blah, blah, blah. Like, they didn't seem to have a bad relationship until that incident. So why would he not share the powers? You know what I mean? They seem like both terrible people at that point in the mines. Go on.
It sort of seemed like they do have a bad relationship, because when the brother is brought in by the Hood and he's talking to Bill Paxton, he's like, I didn't know he wasn't dead. And it was in such a tone that it was so negative. His brother might have been, like evil beforehand, but that's just not explained. I think that
but if you saw that your brother, who is now alive...
Wouldn't you get excited, though? Like,
no, because you know that you used to be evil like him, and you know for a fact that he wouldn't have changed.
Yeah.
But you have, because you're now indebted to the guy who saved your life.
Yes.
See? Oh, here's the rape scene in the
Well,
kids' movie.
It's sort of like implied, not really.
Really? Look at that. The lighting even changed. Oh, sorry, near rape.
Wait, but Ryan...
No, the physical body has turned pale.
Wait, but guys, it's funny because it's a woman on a guy.
Yeah, that's the hilarious part. I almost cried with laughter. That's my favorite part of the movie, was near rape. And then, good booger shot there. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Good booger up his nose. Hey, is that the same globe from Austin Powers 2 in the background there?
Wait, what? Where is it?
The big black inflatable globe in the background. Oh, it's never going to come back, but I
saw it in one of those
it is,
shots.
isn't it? I think it's the exact same one from Austin Powers 2, when he hits Rob Lowe in the face and makes him cry.
I didn't get that scene.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Because it was funny.
Like, you're gonna cry now? You're gonna be... And just keep throwing it in his face.
Because he knows... You know why? It's not only because it's funny, but it's also just because Dr. Evil's a jerk.
Yeah.
But also, if you really want to get down into the deep dirty, he knows that in the future, number 2 is going to betray him at the last moment, so he might as well treat him horribly now to get him in line.
Actually, that makes sense. Thank you.
So,
Also, and this... Stop me if this is getting too crazy. He's evil.
Yeah.
I said that.
That makes sense.
Well,
You said he's a jerk.
He's a jerk. Which
And
is
evil. And he's a jerk and he's evil.
But Ryan, you're being a jerk to Rhys. Does that mean you're evil?
Yes. Wait,
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Bartek, Ryan is not being a jerk to me.
Yeah, Bartek, Rhys is
But
just
he
being
just,
dumb.
he just confessed.
Not like a real villain. I'll take it back at the last minute.
He is simply being a brutally honest person.
That's my curse.
Rhys,
So
you gotta have more, faith in
So
yourself.
how does magic work in this world?
Eyes glow.
No, they turn into like snake eyes.
Might look more like, reptiles. I was gonna say dinosaurs, but reptiles.
I think that
Snakes are reptiles.
That needed to be explained more.
I know.
Maybe
why I
they're
said reptiles.
dragon eyes.
Well, dragons are sort of reptiles.
They're a reptile.
They're magical creatures. I don't think they're.
Look,
sort
I
of
think we've
Oh,
all
okay,
agreed.
but Ben Kingsley's telekinesis is real. You got me there. He wasn't acting.
I think we've all agreed that the eyes are reptilian in appearance.
No, I disagree. They look like dog eyes.
Ryan, I'm gonna call my best friend Snake Guy to get you, and I swear
You're
to God...
gonna call your best friend
Wait,
Solid Snake?
Wait, I'm
Snake
not
Guy.
your best
The
friend.
best snake of them all?
Rhys.
What, you don't think Solid Snake's the best snake?
Rhys.
Patrick said I wasn't my best friend.
Rhys.
What?
If you look in your pockets, you'll see that you have a bunch of snakes.
If you look in your pockets, you'll discover that Metal Gear Solid 2 is the worst Metal Gear Solid. That's right. This is like the 4th episode where I brought up Metal Gear Solid 2 sucking.
What third one?
Oh, I'll make it a 4th one. I'll retroactively edit in me saying that Metal Gear Solid 2 sucks in an unknown episode. I'm
Oh,
not going to
hang
say it's going to be
on.
Meet Dave.
When you said it was the worst Metal Gear Solid, maybe I could have agreed with you, but sucks? No, sir.
Is that what you...
Because worst implies that it could not actually be that bad, but it's just not as good as the other good ones. But it's still a good game.
It sucks. You know it does.
It doesn't suck. It's fun.
The first bit is fun, and then the rest of it sucks.
The rest of it has more
Rhys
weapons.
is not a gamer, are you?
I'll explain my gaming history. I'm for the campaigns, not for the multiplayer. And
Well, Metal Gear Solid doesn't really have multiplayer as much,
and I've never.
Some of them did, but they kept getting deleted when new ones come out.
and they suck.
I hear they're alright, but they're not as good as other multiplayers.
Sudden character plot point. Alan's a jerk.
Whoa, what? Am I the Alan of the group?
No.
Yes, you are.
And you're the Ben Kingsley of our group.
Yes.
Because he's got snake.
Is that your Ben Kingsley accent?
No.
Oh.
Yes. Did you know that you can't feel a breath? You can't grab it. You can't hold it in your arms
You're
at
getting
night.
a little...
When you're alone, you can't feel breath's love.
Oh,
Hold on,
it's not leaving.
Wait,
me.
hold on. What the fuck was that? You're making fun of me, then you go to make... What the hell kind of transition was that?
If
you're
it was
gonna
like
make
a
fun of-
breath of fresh air.
Ryan, if you're gonna make fun of me, go all the way. Don't just suddenly... I'll go back to the easy target, Rhys.
I have 50 episodes behind me making fun of you.
I have the exact same +3.
Yeah.
+3.
Well, no, I have less than that. Then I have like 47 episodes.
Look, I'm the old guy of this show.
Bartek's old.
He's
59 years old.
I'm letting Ryan loose so that he can learn.
When will we learn?
You know what my favorite bit here is? The fact that he leaves them behind for dead.
Yeah. At first it's just right because he doesn't know, but then he knows.
And then he's like, oh well,
Oh God, I'm a jerk.
I have a plan, which is to get captured anyway.
Don't you love it when they almost let out an entire sentence even though they're looking? It's not like, hey, we got... Oh, shit. It's, hey, guys, we did it.
Oh,
Oh,
not the-
no.
Oh no. Oh, Vanessa Hudgens. I didn't realize it was you. I feel like an idiot.
Oh, they got a lot of cakes. That's really cool.
You know why? Because this is a party. Because it was someone's birthday.
Is it your birthday, Ryan?
No.
Damn.
It's the birthday of Jesus in a few weeks.
Well, technically, he was apparently born in the April month.
Shut up.
You know, of the three of us, Rhys's birthday's next. It's in March.
Yep, Ides of March. I have a very unlucky
If
birthday.
he lives by the end of this podcast, we'll find out
No, he will. I saw the ending.
of this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, how was it good? Our best yet?
No.
Oh.
Ryan, you were making fun of us too much, and audience were like, what's the movie about? The movie is about a kid named Alan. Alan wants to be in the Thunderbirds. I almost said Thunderpants. See, just much like Rhys, I'm pointing out the mistake I almost made, even though I could have just let it go. He wants to be in the Thunderbirds like his brother, his brother, his brother, his brother, and his dad.
You know the
His
right
brother-
amount of
his brother-
brothers?
his brother-
There's
No,
like
there's
five
four,
brothers.
There's 4 brothers.
I thought there were 5.
Well, no, he doesn't... No, he,
Main character, his brother, his brother, his brother, his brother, his dad. Plus 7s.
Yeah, because there's 4 brothers because there's 5 Thunderbirds.
I left out one of... Wait, what? Yeah, I was right then, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Or did I...
There's 4 brothers, 1 dad.
You said 3 brothers and a dad.
No, I said 4 brothers and a dad.
No, you said his brother, his brother, his brother, his dad.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I said four
Did you know that this DVD cost Bartek $3, not $6? In case you wanted to go back to pointless detail.
Sorry, we were arguing and suddenly I just thought of the scene in freaking Cannibal the Musical where they're arguing over, like, music notes or something, and I didn't understand that at all. And I'm like, oh, we're doing that scene now.
Can I relate to something to you?
Yeah?
I thought Parker was a robot. In his opening scene, he did something, and there was a sound effect, because this movie has a lot of sound effects, like cartoon
Okay.
sound
Oh, yeah,
effects.
it does.
And he made a sound effect when he punched someone, or he did something physical. No, he did some physical action, and it made like a metal clunk sound, and I'm like, oh, is he a robot? Oh, okay. Like
Ben
that's-
Kingsley's reaction to the fights around him, he's like,
Oh.
look
yeah.
at that.
Ben Kingsley laughs evilly a lot in this. But you were saying, Bartek, go on with the plot.
He wants to be like his brother. Hood stops him because
Who's the Hood?
I don't know. I didn't want to continue with that, but now you're forcing me to.
I'm forcing you. I'm raping you.
There's a lot of tension in this episode.
Sexual tension. Rhys, fuck off. There we go.
Alright, I'll get started then.
I think we need to meditate for a few minutes.
No, Ben Kingsley's taught me the way of the Hood. Why is he called the Hood?
He doesn't actually have a hood.
And he's not like...
It's his name, you fucker.
Well, no, hang on. If he calls himself the Hood, he would have to have a hood.
No,
A
maybe
physical-
he's from the Hood.
Nah.
The Hood, you know? Oh, me. Oh, yes, I like the rap music. Yes, indeed.
Maybe Hood is a name where he comes from that has like a meaning. Like, what's the meaning of Rhys and what's the meaning of Ryan?
Well,
in
Ryan means
Japan-
a little king.
And Rhys in Japanese means squirrel.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
In Japanese, Rhys means squirrel?
Yes.
Squirrel,
Squirrel.
not squirtle.
I said squirrel.
You're saying squirrel.
Yeah, that's how I pronounce it.
Yeah, but that's not how you should pronounce it.
Squirrel?
Squirrel.
Yeah.
I've heard it squirrel.
It's like saying square, but
Squirrel.
schools.
Yeah.
Squirrel, maybe. He's just saying... I thought you were
maybe
just saying...
squirrel.
Yeah, but you're
So
just
I
saying...
need a bit
yeah.
more of an in
L
it.
at the end. But you're just going...
So I slurred it.
Yeah, I just was like, is he saying, trying to say Squirtle? Because all he's saying is, yeah, what, your name means Squirrel?
Yes. My name means...
Fuck, you know how many times you say that over and over again, it just loses all meaning?
Dude, I've got a bit
It
of a...
means Rhys in Japanese.
Squirrel means Rhys in Japanese.
Yeah.
Okay. Bartek
Well, no,
means...
hang on. Let's just go deeper into this because we need more deeper and utter meanings into this.
Can we go fist deep?
This is the best episode.
You said it.
No,
by the way,
it doesn't mean... Squirrel in Japanese does not mean Rhys. It's probably just my spiritual animal in Japanese.
Ah, so you were wrong all along. Okay. So,
Bartek means farmer's son.
oh, is your dad a farmer?
Is your
I
dad
didn't
a
know
farmer?
Steve Tyler was a farmer.
No.
He doesn't look like Stephen Tyler.
You have not listened to our show enough to know that Steve Tyler is everyone's dad.
Well, Ryan, which episode should he listen to?
Sorority boys.
Oh, he got it right. Yeah.
So Ben Kingsley uses his powers and it weakens him. But at most points he uses his powers and he seems fine.
Yep.
It depends on how long he uses it for.
He used it incredibly long just then and all he needed was to kind of twitch his eyes. Other times he uses it to lift a cup in the air and then he like goes, oh, okay, whew, and like breathes. Wait a moment. The brains invented a telekinesis thing at the start.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never used again.
That's a good observation, Ryan, actually. I guess
Chekhov's gun
I guess it's...
destroyed.
Well, I mean, there's a word for that. It's called red herring.
No.
Maybe it was just foreshadowing that in this movie there will be some of this.
I thought maybe, like, now I'm thinking, maybe there's a layer to this. Maybe Ben Kingsley uses technology already because he makes a comment to Brains about, like, some comment about, like, oh, you're close with this technology. Like, yeah, but maybe I thought he was talking about, something else. But, like, then the daughter, Tintin uses the necklace. That's what I feel like she uses the necklace So maybe it actually is technology, not magic?
Maybe Ben Kingsley swallowed his necklace or whatever.
No, I feel
So-
like Ben Kingsley souped up his brain with science. Maybe, I don't know. We don't get a backstory
Could
on
it
the
be
powers.
like when we did the movie on this show, Oz the Great and Powerful, we talked about how each of the witches had a certain item. In that movie, it was all jewel related on their person somewhere, and that allowed them to use magic. Could he possibly have something on him in every single scene where he uses?
my
He
God.
probably swallowed it. you know.
Is it the dragon on the back?
I thought it was his cock ring.
I thought he swallowed it. Like if he had a necklace.
But then
he
you
would've-
poop it out.
Well, Ryan, you've been pointing out little details in this movie, like evidence for your claims. Could you give me the evidence where the cock ring comes in?
Okay. He's called the hood, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's got to be a reason.
Yeah.
He's got a metal hood on his penis.
Oh, it's a metal hood.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a cock ring. Cock rings are made out of...
And what do you call the tip of the penis? The
Oh,
head.
exactly.
See, Rhys?
Nope.
I mean, that's.
I was just
To
thinking.
be fair,
Wait, hold on.
He's
He's
actually
actually making
kind of
a
right.
reference.
Hold on. Ben Kingsley's got a bald head.
Yes.
He looks like a bit of a penis tip.
and keep
And-
going. I'm not getting this. Keep going.
And he's wearing a cock ring, which gives him the magical powers. He might, because he looks like a cock, just be wearing a ring on his hand.
So you're saying that he's a big dick?
Yeah, pretty much.
Ah.
No,
Actually, let's see if he is wearing a ring. I don't know.
He's
all right,
wearing
and
these-
if he uses it, of course.
No, he never uses it. Like, if you give your weakness away, why would you? Like, the girl's an idiot.
It brought back memories for me to think of a metal penis because there was a movie that Bartek bought me for my 18th. Oh no, I keep making this
It
mistake.
brings back
It,
memories of my metal penis.
it wasn't.
Wait,
Bartek
Ryan,
did
let him
not,
talk about the porno.
Bartek did not buy this for me, but he simply influenced people to buy it for me. I can't remember the title, but the hero of the porn.
No, it was the case of the smiling stiffs.
Case of the Smiling Stiffs.
So wait,
It's-
did Bartek buy... Wait, I'm very confused. Slow down. Did Bartek buy you a porn
No,
movie?
he
No.
influenced someone to buy the porno for me.
I told these two people, I've mentioned them on the show before, I said, hey, buy Rhys that for his birthday.
Yeah.
You
And
asshole.
And in this movie, it's about a vampire chick who goes around and basically kills people by having sex with them.
Oh, does she give them blowjobs?
No.
Well, then she's not a vampire. Because she
And
didn't
then,
go down for the
but
count.
then,
But Ryan...
but then the hero of the said porno has a very large scrotum that is silver. It sort of brought back memories of that. I'm just gonna say.
Why isn't it made out of wood? She's a vampire. You put a wooden stake in them.
Yeah, but it's silver, and vampires go hand in hand.
No, they don't. That's werewolves.
Oh yeah, I was wrong, guys. Sorry.
But that's still what happened in the movie.
Yeah, so what happened?
Back to Thunderbirds.
Rhys, is the case of the smiling stiffs unappreciated?
Oh,
Did you
incredibly.
jerk off to it at any point? Be honest. No one will know. Other than
there
us.
Surprisingly, for a porno, there weren't a lot of sex scenes.
Is it actually a porno, or is it just one of those? There's a name for those movies, the erotic films. Like, there's a difference
Okay, I
between
would call
erotic
it-
films or
I would say it-
sexploitation.
I would say it's erotic, not porno, because there's a lot of talking and establishing and exposition, but nothing.
Character arcs.
No.
No, it's
See,
almost as good
with
as
me
this
telling
movie.
the people to buy the film, I read on the front it was like sex comedy, and it was rated R, it wasn't rated X. So I thought, oh, it's like American Pie, I guess. Hey, buy him that. Sounds funny.
Oh, you didn't know it was a porno.
I didn't actually know it was a porno.
The
No.
tragic
I
tragic
think you guys
story.
should do Case of the Smiling Stiffs. I think that'll be
Nah, I'm good.
great.
You know what? Something that happened in this movie. They needed a wire. They needed a wire to pick the lock, and she used her underwire of her bra, Miss Penelope, and she made a statement which confuses me very much.
Was it you didn't even need it?
He's like, I don't even need this. What's that mean? Like, she only moved one cup. Like, she didn't move the whole bra's under. Like, only one for one cup. So is she saying her left breast doesn't need support? Underwires don't
I
work
see.
like that.
No,
like,
I thought they didn't even need it to escape the room.
no, I think she's boasting like, My breasts are so incredible, I don't even need a bra. And I'm like, wait, is she indicating that she's wearing like a push-up bra? And she's like, I don't even need the bra to look this good. But it makes no sense because she never took off her bra. And she's only taken like one wire out. Like, say, there's two, one for left, one for right, yeah? She's only taken the, say, left one out. Is she saying that her left breast is so ample that she doesn't need support? What does that mean?
Maybe she's a magician.
Also, magic, yes. Because look at her outfit during this scene and how her hair is.
Yeah.
It's important for later on.
Oh, yeah, I know. I think I know what you're getting at. It's very important, ladies and gentlemen.
Bartek, you were going to say that you were going to mention the F word.
Well, we've long since passed that.
Fuck you, then. There was a great scene, wasn't there?
It was very
with Ben
funny.
Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley's reaction was like, oh my god, you're going to swear.
Ben Kingsley, a guy who is willing to let people drown to death.
It's like, oh my god, you're going to say fuck you to me.
I'm English. I don't accept that word. I accept the word cunt.
That's Australian.
I thought that was a genuinely
They
fun
say
movie in
cunt.
the movie.
Huh?
I thought that was a genuinely
I
fun
was having genuine fun too, Rhys. That's why we're talking.
I read an article yesterday on the internet, which was about
What movie's that?
It's a 90s movie where they go into the internet and do weird shit.
Oh, you mean Lawnmower Man? Yeah, go on.
No, that was virtual reality.
No, he went into the internet. Get it right.
Anyway, the article that I read was one of those ones where like they list out the best quotes that politicians have said throughout the year.
Yes.
And there were just a bunch of Australian ones. And then they made a comment basically calling out the English for not having good, insults from their politicians.
Seriously?
Because all they say are you lot and mob.
What about pig fucker?
What about Winston Churchill?
No, like he meant of this year.
Oh.
Yeah?
Actually, no. I've got one for this year.
Wasn't it that it was David Cameron, yeah, who found out to be a pig fucker?
He was accused of fucking a pig.
Yes, and
apparently.
No, not accused. Found out that he put his penis in the pig's mouth.
In his
He
college
didn't fuck
years.
it.
In his college years, right?
Yeah, he didn't fuck it. He just put his penis in his mouth.
There was a quote about Brexit, and there was a politician standing up and sort of having to recognise Brexit. And it was like, we need to recognise that breakfast is, Brexit. And he got a round of applause.
Well, that's very insulting.
We need to recognise breakfast, the most important meal of the day. Here's something. Do you think that this film,
What's it called?
Thunderbirds,
Well
I know
done.
the name.
Round of applause for Ryan for not saying Thunderpants.
I haven't said it during this movie.
Yeah, but just accept it anyway.
I accept this beautiful reward, and this looks like a giant turd underwater. But all I was gonna say was, do you think that this movie benefited humanity?
I'm gonna have to think about that one for a bit.
Yeah, can you come back to me for that one?
I'm gonna give my quick little answer. I think that this film did. I think that it really did because it's a kids' movie that isn't afraid to deal with tough subject matters. It deals with loss, deals with regret. It is a film that really touches one's heart in an appropriate manner. It's comedic, it's fun, but this scene here that we're about to see of Ben Kingsley as a villain in a kids' movie is actually willing to murder people. At this point in the movie, he hasn't been willing to murder anyone. He's been willing to torture them, play mind games, but in this, he's willing to... that head bubble. He's willing to let innocent people die. And I find that very disturbing in a good fashioned way. In terms of this, when you're a young kid, having to deal with that idea is tough. And there's one of the last lines of the movie is about being a hero. And, it's about like being able to save people and all this stuff. And it really harkens back to the same sides of, like, different sides of the same coin, where Ben Kingsley, he was always evil and he has powers and he has a great mind and intellect and he uses it for wrong because he could not be saved. He was already bad before that, but he was left for dead, and he's let that experience turn him into a bigger monster, while Bill Paxton recognizes the fact, due to his not being able to save his wife, that you still have to try, that you still have to be heroic, that you still have to be a good person, and that you just have to accept that you cannot save everyone, and that you cannot always be saved. And I think it's a great lesson for kids, and I think it's really benefited humanity in that kind of way, that as Thunderbirds always has. Thunderbirds, the property, not just this film, will stand up to the test of time. Yes, it's a little hokey to look at, but it's kind of like Star Trek. And it's appropriate that they got the director to be someone a part of the Star Trek legacy, because Star Trek, the original series, is hokey. It's cartoony, it's silly, but it's timeless at the same time.
Question.
Just like Thunderbirds.
What came first, the Thunderbirds property or One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest?
The book? Or the film?
movie?
Oh,
Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds.
In One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, the movie, there's a part where Jack Nicholson is trying to pick up the sink,
Yeah.
but he fails.
Yeah, he does.
And do you remember what he says after he fails?
No, off the top of my head.
He says something along the lines of, well, at least I tried.
Yeah.
At least I tried, damn it.
Yeah.
Clearly, what you just said there in a lot of words was basically you have to try. And I think that movie, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, was catching the message that the original series was bringing up.
Yeah.
And this film has simply just acknowledged that and brought it in.
And I feel like this film
That's
embodies...
the most random of references, Bartek.
Excuse me. Why are you being so negative on this show, Rhys?
I know.
We've been nothing but kind to you since you've come on. And you're just shitting on our sandwich. Now, you know what this film really embodies to me? Obama.
Yeah? Rhys, if you listen to the last week's episode, I somehow bring...
Nips! Yeah. Obama... No, Rhys, listen. It embodies Obama's original envision of the American way when he was running, which was, what was it? The Yes We Can?
That was his slogan, yes.
This film is very much the Yes We Can of film. And this was 4 years before he ran for presidency.
But clearly Obama was trying to bring it to the next level. Because the film is talking about you have to try, but Yes We Can kind of implies you have to do.
Yeah.
So,
this film also does a yes you do.
So I guess, well, that's true. In this film they do succeed, but I suppose with the Obama thing, he kind of doomed himself to failure there.
Yeah, well this is not. This is a true film. They would have been dead by now. But
Yeah, they would have been dead.
this film shows you that humans are good deep down, but also they can be bad. And it's one of those films that doesn't play you about by saying the villain dies at the end. I find it really, really heartwarming that the kids saved Ben Kingsley, knowing that it could harm him, could harm his family. Ben Kingsley is a dangerous guy.
Yeah, of course.
And I think it's a good message. You know, I mean, we live in a world where everything's dark and gritty. You know, Batman snaps people, like Batman shoots people, Superman snaps necks. At the end of the day, if we can't even look up to Superman, we can at least look up to Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
There is a problem there, though. We can't really relate to Superman because he's too perfect.
No, but he's so and so are the Thunderbirds.
Is he perfect, Rhys?
Yeah.
Because I personally think you're more handsome than Superman.
The homoeroticism in the air.
But
No, but like,
Save me.
no.
To be honest, though, when I was watching this film and thinking about the whole aspects of having to save people, not killing the villain, like you said, was very heartwarming. It made me think that a lot of properties, you could kind of separate them into two different, or well, maybe not two different, but separate them into categories based on their attitude towards one very common theme or idea in a lot of fiction, and that is revenge.
Revenge.
Like when you think of films, there are some films that say revenge will get you nowhere. There are some, when I say films, I mean just properties or works of fiction. Some say revenge will make you feel better. Some will say that revenge will ultimately lead you to feeling empty. So this is a film that talks about revenge in the first category. It will not do anything for you.
Bang.
Yeah, and here's her new outfit and hairstyle.
I was surprised she's managed to got herself a nice bun in that amount of time.
Yeah.
And she's so ineffective!
I like what you said there, Bartek, about revenge. I didn't think about it, but this movie... Wow.
You can apply that to any movie, by the way.
But this movie, you just talked about, it's a Shakespearean type of revenge, which also leads into, again, I know that I'm relating it back to Star Trek a lot, but I think this is very important because Star Trek and Thunderbirds share a lot of similarities in terms of themes and messages about humans can strive to be better. We can be better. In a world of crap, we can aspire to be better. And the fact that the director is Commander Riker from Next Gen is important. Not only is he a good filmmaker, a director, an actor, but the fact he's attached to Star Trek. And this movie, Ben Kingsley, is very much similar to one of the most famous icons of Star Trek villainy, Khan. And Khan, his movie is called Wrath of Khan. Revenge, he wants revenge. And him and Kingsley have the same motivations for revenge and do the exact same actions for revenge, but in different ways a little bit. Like, Ben Kingsley and Khan were both left for dead. They're survived, and they want to not only punish the people that wrong them, but they're going to try and teach them a lesson at the same time. Khan originally just wants to kill Kirk, but then he figures out, no, I'm just going to leave you on a dead planet like you did me, and leave you for dead. See how you survive, for you to understand. And Kingsley does the same with Paxton. He leaves him floating in space to die, to fend for himself, like Kingsley had to fend for himself. That no one's there to save you this time. How do you like it? It's very interesting, that kind of similarity, and I always love that type of revenge in movies, where they get to the point where they're beyond trying to just kill them. They're like, no, I'm going to give you what you gave me. But in a twisted logic. It's great. And this movie, for a kid's movie, really introduces that kind of sick, twisted mind and thought process to a younger audience in a really subtle way.
What do you think of that, Rhys?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Can you relate that idea to any other films you can think of?
Jaws. The revenge. The shark really wanted to teach him a lesson.
Out of curiosity, though, you said Shakespearean revenge. This is just, curiosity. What would be the most iconic Shakespeare play that has a revenge thing in it?
Macbeth.
Hamlet.
Yeah, alright.
I guess...
Caesar?
I guess on a level, Romeo and Juliet, because they're feuding with one another, they're always trying to... I guess that's not so much revenge.
Nah.
Like, the families in the background are always
fighting, but it's more
trying to avenge one another's...
We're gonna kill ourselves, Dad.
Like, in the background, revenge, but that's not the main... But yeah, like those ones that we listed. Othello.
Oh, yes.
I was thinking Othello, but wasn't that one really vague?
Yeah, Othello, Iago has no clear motivation as to why he does what he does. He's a sociopath. He has no actual reason to do what he does. He just does it. He gives, 15 reasons as to why he does what he does, but none of them line up. And if they do, they're done they're said in an insincere manner, not only by an actor, but by the writing itself. And it's done in a way where... It's not as in, contradictory to the character. The character's just that fucking psychotic and manipulative that he actually does not know why he does what he does. He just does.
Are there any notable Othello films?
The one with Lawrence Fishburne.
And the one with Josh Hartnett.
Oh, I haven't seen the Josh Hartnett one.
I'd be interested to watch.
Yeah, Kenneth Branagh did one where he played Iago. It was great.
Cool.
So this is not Othello. This is Thunderbirds. Great Shakespeare talk there, guys.
Yeah.
I actually didn't think that was the Thunderbird thing there, the giant drill thing. I thought, for some reason I was like, they're in a museum, aren't they?
I think it would have been Thunderbirds because they're very much into gadgets and all that.
I don't know, I just forgot that was there until he turned it on, even though the kid's climbing on it.
I kind of did too, but yeah, it's very obvious.
And like how he said, I'm glad you could be here to see this, Jeff. Whispering it when near loud machine.
It'd be funny if, Bill Paxton said, what?
Also, he said goodbye, Ellen, like how he did when he said, did you find any children? He's like, Goodbye, Alan.
I liked how he said, oh. It's like kind of weird.
Did you like the fact that he's wearing mascara? He wore the exact same mascara in Prince of Persia.
Yes, he did.
Maybe Ben Kingsley's just got like some weird eye discoloration for being so evil.
Or maybe everyone else has the discoloration.
And we're blind. Like love.
You know, I mentioned earlier that I looked at quiz questions, but there weren't any great ones. One of the ones that was about his eye ability was like, what side effect does it have on him? And one of them was like, it makes him blind.
That would actually be cool.
Yeah.
How cool would that be?
That would
the
be
more
excellent.
you use it, the blinder you get.
The more blind you get.
Yeah.
You want something so bad, but you have to pay for it.
Okay,
That's the tragedy.
so this scene here, the police are
the
Jonathan
trivia.
Frakes impersonators, but the real Jonathan Frakes is in the background as a policeman.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't say that.
Which is neat. So they look like Jonathan Frakes, and then he's there in the background with no beard.
And his wife is the reporter that's throughout the movie.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I looked that up, and I was like, oh, I didn't connect it in my brain.
I just didn't know.
Here's something neat about Jonathan Frakes. Do you know whose favorite actor is?
I don't know anything about him.
Patrick Stewart.
His wife.
Oh, that's nice, isn't
It's
it?
in his IMDb trivia. It's in several interviews, like throughout the years. He's always listed his wife as his favorite actor, which is really genuine and sweet. You know, she's on like Days of Our Lives or something, or Young and Restless. And I find that really sincere, really sweet. I like that mentality. Like, he's worked with genuine A-grade performers. Like, you know, even before they were known, like, he worked alongside Tom Hardy before Tom Hardy was big. And, like, you know, like, but he still considers his wife to be the best at the end of the day. And that's just true love right there. And you can feel that he, as a person, has a lot of love because it comes across in this movie. He has a love for this property, and he has a love for his wife and a love for life. And when you watch this, I think the best way to describe what this movie gives you is a sense of love. I think that's what I get at the end of the day from this.
Yeah.
A sense of love.
We say that as the speech is being said by the punk from Terminator.
Fuck you, asshole.
Oh, yeah, he was the punk, wasn't he?
Fuck you, asshole.
He had the blue mohawk, Ryan.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, dumbass old me, I thought he was one of the policemen in the station. No, because he's always looked old. Bill Paxton. He's never looked young.
Really?
To be fair, though,
Think
when
of him.
Aliens, he looked pretty young.
No, but he was playing a Marine, where Marines, they tend to look older. Like, you never see Bill Paxton go, oh, yeah, he looks like he's 18. You know?
I wonder what he did look like when he was 18.
To be fair, though, when I looked at him here, I'm like, this guy can't be the punk from Terminator.
Why?
He's so clean cut.
He just doesn't... You look at him, and it just doesn't look like he'd ever have a blue mohawk.
No, but how many years went by? 25?
About 20-ish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was just
roughly.
guessing. I like Terminator 2 better. Better than The Grinch.
Now, was that necessary, right?
Ryan, what does Terminator 2 have that the Grinch doesn't have?
What does it have that The Grinch doesn't have?
Yeah.
A plot? Character development? Character arc? Direction? Color? Sound? The ability to keep one awake even though it's a long movie?
The boy band busted.
Cultural impact?
Okay, but does Terminator 2 have liquid nitrogen?
It does?
Oh,
The second one.
I guess it is. I guess it's
Terminator 2 has liquid nitrogen.
Yeah.
I guess that it's a
The
great movie then.
T-1000, that's one of his weaknesses.
I will be honest. A weakness of this movie, the end soundtrack. This song felt like, oh, if you didn't like, I love this movie, but it's
No,
like,
it all.
no, it all kid. This song felt like, hey, if you didn't like this movie, prepare not to like it some more. I liked this movie, so it didn't affect me too much, but it felt like, oh, this is a dissatisfying end soundtrack because the music has been so whoosh, action go, but this feels generic 2004 pop music, which is disappointing. I feel like if they kept in touch
I quite liked it.
with the feel of the 60s show and the movie, it would have been great. You loved it.
I thought it was very
Rhys,
nice.
are you trying to wind me up?
No. Genuinely, I really liked the song.
Can we not bring him back on the show?
We have to though, because I agree with him.
Oh. You like this, did you? This song?
Do you like the song, Bartek?
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Okay, fine. So,
I'm sorry, do you not like the mid 2000s, Ryan?
This is just a bit before mid 2000s.
2004, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Do I have to get Sugar Ray on you?
Sugar Ray.
What?
All right, we'll give our ratings and our review of this fantastic movie. I'm gonna go straight out the gate with this.
Do it, dude.
I've
go
already
for
been getting in touch with the feeling of this movie.
Yeah.
Here's my review. Thunderbirds are go. That's the title. I didn't write this down. I'm just making this up as I feel. Thunderbirds are go. The name of the movie is in fact Thunderbirds. It is a movie. And that is the joyous thing about this. There's differences between a movie and a film. A film is usually one with more merit, with more intellectual piece, with more of an intellectual feel, and weighs more into society. While this is a movie. And just because it is a movie does not mean it can't be a masterpiece. This movie caters to families, to friends, to loved ones. It is a film... No, it is a movie, sorry. It is a movie that touches one's strings, because this was, after all, based on marionettes, and they have strings. And this movie grabs those strings and twists them and turns them in directions that you would not normally walk in.
Hugh McKenzie.
Woo!
Yeah.
Not related to Rhys.
Not at all.
This movie tugs at those strings and makes you feel things that you realize that you never felt for the Thunderbirds series before. As a person who did not grow up on Thunderbirds, obviously I'm too young and this is the Thunderbirds material that caters to my generation, I feel like I've missed out on great potential of what Thunderbirds used to, what it was. And not saying that this tarnished it, it is in fact a movie that does what it needs to do, which is gain your interest in the source material. After this, I want to watch the Thunderbirds TV show. I want to watch the new Thunderbirds TV show. It makes me nostalgic for something that was never in my past. That is what we call brilliant making of a film and a movie. This is A-grade material, even though some people would say it isn't. To me, it is. If I had to give this a rating, unit nurse was called Ruth Mole, by the way. If I had to give this a rating, which I do, don't I, Bartek? I have to. It's obliged.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I had to give this a rating, I would give this a can't catch a breath out of can't feel one.
FAB.
FAB.
Fubar.
That's yours.
Fubar.
Let's
Fubar.
hear from you, Bartek.
So Thunderbirds, I mentioned earlier that it was a property that I was aware of, but I just never really watched. And you mentioned earlier Team America, which is... It's another DVD that I haven't watched yet. But I understand that it is also a marionation film.
Oh my god, it's one of the best films ever made.
I know, and I'm very excited to watch it at some point. But with Thunderbirds and that, it kind of all blended together. And I mentioned earlier that I didn't actually know what Thunderbirds was about until I watched this movie. Like, I didn't know it was about them being an international rescue team. So I kind of had this idea in my head, and also I mentioned my dad didn't seem like he was that into it. So I kind of assumed he's a little bit conservative. He's got a sense of humor, but a little conservative. So I thought maybe it had like a lot of inappropriate humor of some sort going on, which I now understand is not the case because it was a program that catered towards a family audience.
Yeah.
So watching this, it kind of really shed a light on me of what this kind of film is. Because if I could compare it to Starsky and Hutch and Bewitched, the movies that we've done this show, they were also based on an older property, but I was at least aware of what those were. Like, I never...
You knew what the general plots of those TV shows were.
Like, I never watched Starsky and Hutch, but I could tell, it's two cops and they work together to stop criminals and stuff. easy to understand. And Bewitched, I'd seen a few episodes of that, and I Dream of Jeannie, so I had an idea of what like sitcoms back then were like. With this one, I walked in with a misconception, and this film cleared it for me, and I was also able to enjoy this film that fans of that original program says is not that great. And I said it a couple of episodes ago when we watched... What movie was it again? The old one...
Three Ninjas?
No, it was a... Oh, it was Wolf Creek. So 2 months ago, not a couple of episodes ago, I made the joke that Wolf Creek 1 is apparently the really good one, and I watched a really good film. Maybe I watched Wolf Creek 1. So that's kind of the appearance... Don't laugh, Rhys. I'm being serious here.
Rhys,
Sorry.
could you separate Bean and the Ultimate Disaster movie, please? Jeez.
I'm just going to turn
No,
around.
don't separate them. Connect them, Ryan.
Yeah.
Get it right. So that's kind of what I'm getting here. Apparently there's a better version of this story out there, but I saw a great story. So maybe what I watched was the best version. As far as I'm aware, this is the best version of the Thunderpants story. The story about a family known as the Thunderbirds, or apparently I read in the trivia they're known as International Rescue, and it's like a misconception, but they went with
The
it.
machines are called Thunderbirds.
The machines themselves are called Thunderbirds, much like the Thunderpants 1, the Thunderpants 2, and the Thunderpants 3.
Huh.
This movie went a step ahead, though. Well, in fact, 2 steps ahead, because there is a 4 and 5 of their Thunder noun. So if I'm going to give this movie a rating, I would have to give it a Thunderpants 10 out of 10.
Thunderpants?
Yes. Because remember, Ryan, we love Thunderpants.
And I love
wanna,
Thunderbirds.
And I want to share all of these unappreciated masterpieces together. Second ever episode we did. Second last episode of this year.
All is well. All
Second
is
episode
well.
of this year had Rhys, maybe. Second last episode of this year has Rhys. Remember 2, guys? 2.
Bartek, that was great. Rhys, let's hear from you, the champion of the people.
Champion of the People. I like that title. Let's see here. Now, as you all know, viewers, or if you don't know, I'll explain myself. I am not...
They're listeners.
Listeners. I do spit, but I'm not Polish.
Fucker.
But I do have Polish friends, as you may know. Ryan and Bartek fall under that category.
Yeah, I wonder who his friends are.
Me and you.
Oh, go on.
So, my background is mostly Irish, which means I like eating potatoes. I like drinking a lot of alcohol.
I like this review.
I have an
already.
obsession for the colour green sometimes.
Like
And-
Thunderpants.
Like Thunderpants. But, most of all, I'm very superstitious.
And I just thought of something.
What?
Remember earlier, Ryan, how you said this had kind of a goldish, yellowish tint? What's Rhys's favourite colour?
Gold.
Is it?
I thought it was yellow.
Oh, well, close enough.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So, the only thing I can really say about this movie is that it was a source of bad luck.
Yeah. Oh, I've heard this. Go ahead, Rhys. Ryan, listen to this story.
So, leading up to the period where I would be talking to Bartek about being on this episode, he said to me, what movie would you like to watch? And then, at this point, my internet has been going in and out.
Oh no.
Slow, not working, then not working, then being slow. And then I mentioned, what about Thunderbirds? That's an unappreciated masterpiece. And Bartek happily said, it's on the list. So, as soon as we picked Thunderbirds, I started to download, and guess what?
What?
My internet died.
Is it because you're doing it illegally?
Yes.
Oh no!
So, listeners, I have been without internet for a week.
That's because you were doing something illegal.
Yes. And usually things come in threes. So, number 2. I had to get a copy of this film, and Bartek kindly offered me his
Well, you asked
5-pack,
me.
which I thought was a 6-pack. But I was disappointed that Disaster Movie was not in the 5-pack, so I was also disappointed. But that wasn't the case of bad luck. My case of bad luck was I was watching this film and I had my trusty companion cat with me.
Oh, your cat?
Yes, my cat. I was home alone at this time.
Eh, well, not really. You had a cat. But...
Well, I had a cat, but...
I made the same comment when you told me this.
No, hang on.
High five.
I was watching this film and I can remember distinctly. I had this warm, fuzzy feeling. I was like, am I liking this film? I'm really liking this film.
It was the cat.
It was a cat pissing on me.
I said the exact thing when he told me this story.
The cat pissed on you. And you thought...
She wanted to...
You thought, this movie's so good that I have a warm sensation on me. Go on. I can't wait for the third one.
Well, it's not as bad as being pissed on by a cat who wants to be fed, but...
Why weren't you feeding your cat?
Well, cats do like to be fed, Ryan.
We watched a movie about cats called 9 Lives.
I was about to say, you know everything about cats now, Ryan. Stop asking questions.
Go, Grease, go. Third time the charm.
And finally, when I was trying to think of a review for this episode today, I was also in the process of picking up Bartek. And guess what? I
he pee on you?
I went down the wrong street.
Bad luck.
So I thought I would try again. And I was
good.
still thinking, oh, you idiot. Why would you be thinking of a review? And then I went down the wrong street again. And I had to stop my vehicle and yell at myself.
You're a mess.
I
Were
am
you still
indeed a mess.
drenched in cat piss at this point?
No, it's in the wash at this
Bartek
point.
nodded. He said yes.
So just to summarize, Rhys said that this film has been a source of bad luck for him. But,
It changed your life.
that being said,
What?
how do you feel about it?
Warm.
That it's a source of bad luck.
Despite that, how do you feel?
I don't know.
Well, you're going to lead it up to your rating.
My rating shall be a Bill Paxton out of a James Cameron.
I get it, because James Cameron directed Terminator.
Terminator.
But I'll just say that, yeah, it was quite a pleasant film.
Yeah, I thought your rating was going to involve cat pee. But no, we got reviews, Bartek and I. Bartek has some from YouTube comments,
Yep.
and you have Roger Ebert's review.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you when to read Roger Ebert's one because it's very important, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna start with my IMDb reviews. I have reviews from IMDb. Now, some of them are they're not the quickest reviews, but they get down deep into it. I'll go with this review, which has no star rating. It's just called, If You Don't Know It, Don't Make It.
Oh, this sounds bad.
I'll just quickly say, just tell me when to read a comment or when to read
Oh, yeah.
Roger
I'll
Ebert's.
read. I'll tell. Oh, Bartek, we've done this before. You'll know. Okay, If You Don't Know It, Don't Make It. From 2004, so the movie just came out. Once upon a time, young children sat down with their fathers or maybe their bigger siblings and they watched a show. It was a television program that held them transfixed with tales of technological wonders. Lots of young children dreamed beautiful creative dreams because of this show. Fast forward to Christmas 2004. Lots of kids are gonna get a DVD called Thunderbirds. The producers of this movie should get used to the singular clang sound because I can imagine lots of kids are going to toss this into the wastebaskets the day after, or maybe the same day. They are throwing away the most thick-headed attempt at recreating television greatness that this reviewer has ever seen. I am not saying that the original The Thunderbirds was the best of shows. It was a puppet show, for Christ's sake. They didn't write Christ's sake, they wrote Christ. Right. There's no T, but there's like 3 S's.
So, Chris?
Chris take.
Okay.
It had huge limitations based on what we know today. But then, that's a new sentence, and that's the end of it. But then, like, question mark, but then? If you were a 7 to 14-year-old kid, The Thunderbirds was it. Jeff Tracy led, and his sons followed, spirited and eager. Scott was the eldest, and Jeff's rock.
Jeff's Rock?
Yeah, he had Thunderbird 1, reconnaissance and remote command and control platform. Virgil had the looks, but was so committed to duty workhouse. No, wait, sorry. Was so committed to dad and the project.
Duty workhouse.
He had, no, I skipped a sentence. He had Thunderbird 2, the perennial heavy-duty workhouse. Gordon, John, and Alan had the tough job of being expert in all of the rest of the equipment. All heroes. All heroes. And then there was Brains, an unparalleled engineering genius, and our little secret. As much as a part of the team as any other single member, as much flawed and quirky as he was amazing and lovable. Brains was not perfect, but he was the best Mother Earth had to offer. But the true beauty of this old show, the reason all of us got up at 6 a.m. to watch, was those wonderful beasts, the Thunderbirds themselves. Joey Anderson knew that his creations were the star of the show, and he made sure that they were kept front and center. So with this movie, what the hell were the producers thinking? Whoever was in charge, and I'm not saying it was Jonathan Frakes, had simply no idea. Obviously, they had no idea that they were playing with an institution as opposed to a cool plot idea. The whole movie was two things: a Spy Kids clone and a running advertisement for Ford. And that's it. Okay, the technical stuff was there. I thought the updating of the beloved Thunderbirds was quite good to a point. And Tracy Island seemed up to it. Had all the right stuff, except we never saw it work right. After that, it was all downhill into the pits, and it went pretty low. The script wasn't written, it was it was excreted. The casting was abysmal. The costuming was third rate. That's fun. He's talking about the new Thunderbirds movie, not the original Thunderbirds. The costuming was third rate. As a father, I would be embarrassed if my son said this was a cool film. It would mean I would have to explain to him why it isn't. He is going to see the original series one day, so I have to. Whoever masterminded this mess should go away. To the producers that still own the... Wait, this has a question mark at the end. To the producers that still own the rights, give it another shot. People want to see the Tracys solving problems as they do. Make my kids proud. Make me proud. That's the end.
Oh, wow. Well done, sir.
Now I'll read one more review and then Bartek can shoot off some YouTube comments. This one's called It's a Kids Movie. 10 stars. Written in 2005.
Ooh.
I've looked at this movie 3 times just to study it. And quite honestly, it's not a movie made for adults. It's clearly a movie for kids. And if one tries to look at it, not as an adult, as a kid, I have to say that the director did an excellent job.
Oh.
The old series are copied in an excellent way. It lets kids see that team play is so important as it is in real life. When you watch this movie, try to watch it without certain expectations. You'll see that it is long, not as bad as you first thought. I did not find one swear word in all of the movie, nor did I find any sex in it. He watched it 3 times. Any sex in it, and that in a movie of the 21 century, there's no first of the 21st century, you see not all movies need these. That's one of the reasons why I like this one. And that's it. Bartek?
Oh, that was kind of nice, actually.
I've got approximately 11 comments, so you can space it out however you want.
Blast us with like 3 or 4.
Alright.
Blast me.
So, this first one right here, it's Yeah, okay. This one is a more positive one. I don't see what's worth complaining about. The movie was cool. The spaceships were really cool looking. Sure, it focused on the Thunderbirds kids, but it's not like it's any cheesier than 60s puppet show. And it's not the only movie that ruined childhoods. Look at Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. No. Did you hear that, guys?
Yeah, Charlie and the Chocolate.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Ninja Turtles, and Man of Steel. And response to that comment, I really liked it. Second comment right here. We've got a bit of a smart ass here. 2010, huh? This movie was set in 2010. By the way.
Yeah!
It was set in the future.
Well, the past now.
Oh, the past now, yes. And this person is being a bit snarky about it. 2010, huh? Well, that didn't happen. Oh, and was that the Mandarin from Iron Man 3 playing the villain? ... question mark?
It's true. Ben Kingsley was a Mandarin.
Yes, he was. And the third comment, and this one's in all caps and it ends with one exclamation mark. The nostalgia!
Oh, that's it.
That was perfect.
Yep. You want me to read any more or not?
Yeah, read another one.
Alright. This one points out something that was in the trailer, but not in the final movie.
Oh.
You know how in this movie they say Thunderbirds a go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in the trailer they said, let's Thunderize. And some people had problems with that. In fact, I'll read the next two because they're both about the Thunderize thing. So the first one, let's Thunderize. Let's Thunderize? No! It's Thunderbirds a go! What were you thinking, Hollywood? And the next and the next comment, this one has responses. The initial comment is just Thunderize. And the response, that even a word? Or did the script writers pull it out of their asses? And the last response, all of the above.
Oh, that's perfect. Now, I've got a 10-star review here called Great Movie 2004. It came out, this review. I really don't know what all the complaints are about. I think this movie is great. It has non-stop action, great special effects, great story. I am 31 years old.
Yeah! Good on you for watching this movie.
I am 31 years old. I've seen the original a few times, but I am no expert on the Thunderbird world. I took my 7-year-old son, and he enjoyed it a lot. I'm sorry. Oh, boy. I don't think anyone dies in the movie. The violence is not too bad. There's not too much sexual overtone that some over kids movies. There's not too much sexual overtone that some over kids movies out there have, but there is some.
Over kid.
That's a good sentence, isn't
I
it?
think it's supposed to be like other kid movies. There are some funny one-liners. I think when they made this movie, I think when they made this movie, they took is serious.
Ooh, is serious, Rhys.
This was written in Memphis.
So America, were they speaking English?
Yeah, not like some other remakes that have come out in the recent past where they try to poke fun at a series. If you want to take your kids to see a great movie this summer, take them to this. You might find that you like it too. Aww. Now this next review is called FAB, Good Time Had by All. Funnily enough, written in 2004 in country, New South Wales, Australia.
That's where you're from.
Yeah, it just says country. Like, not a specific town. Just from the country. This one's a bit of a longer review, but you'll find out.
Here we go.
It's the Grinch
10
of
stars.
reviews.
10 stars. It really is. Over the years of wearing my Thunderbirds tie to work, I have... This sounds like me. I have met so many people who all go on about how they loved the childhood TV show that many of us grew up with. Many of us had been waiting for the movie to make it here and formed a group of some 30 people to attend opening night together, with some bringing non-Thunderbird fans. Okay. I read the reviews on IMDb only an hour before seeing the movie. The not-so-friendly comments had me worry that everyone of us would come out thinking the movie was crap. I reminded everyone as we entered that the movie was marketed as kids first and not us 20 to 40-year-olds. A small tear ran down my face. when I heard the soul-moving theme music as the movie started, flooding my mind with good times. As a kid, as I got up at 6 a.m. to watch the show once a week. Then, for the next hour, I'd smile from ear to ear as the show built on the basis of what the show was all about. Good entertainment. None of this crap video games that have taken all the excitement out of our kids' lives. For all the party poopers, I love the movie. I see why everyone commented on Parker and Lady Penelope roles. Even my oldest friend, who has non-Thunderbirds type, wants a car with its own Parker to help her over the hard days.
How unique.
After the movie, we talked about how it was a good movie. Sure, it was no superannuation, but do you think it would really work in this day and age? All who saw it with me have a new motto. Oh look, Parker, pink is the new black. Remember this next time you see someone in pink. And that's the end of the review.
That's a good end.
Brilliant review,
Could
sir.
you read
Brilliant.
like 3 or 4 YouTube comments and then the Roger Ebert? Because this last one really, really is great for me.
Okay. So I've got a few short ones here and one long one. Yeah. This one here. Okay, this is someone who grew up in the bad kind of grew up.
No.
I remember going apeshit when this came out. I was 5 to 6. Now, it's just so cringy to look back at.
Aww.
Next comment. First DVD I ever owned. Such a bad film.
No.
And this last sentence here. Rip-off of the original. The film ripped off the franchise.
How do you rip off originals?
Rhys, some people on YouTube... Look, YouTube people, they're very expressive, but sometimes they just say the wrong things. I'm sure they meant something better by it, but he's an asshole anyway. This next comment. All the shit they're rebooting, IDK why they don't reboot this. I must admit, wasn't a part of the fandom, but enjoyed the film.
Aww.
And got a bit of a longish one, and then I'll go to Roger Ebert.
Yeah. Stick it in me.
Loved both this and the original series as a kid, but now I'm older, I can see this film is terrible and doesn't do the original justice. Lots of things wrong, like Jeff on missions, Gordon in T3, etc. This had so much potential. I think they should do another live-action film, but this time keep things like in the original. Personally, I'd make it a 12 certificate and more gritty. Maybe show briefly how IR was formed, etc. Also, the machines in the new animated series look so much better than these.
Wow.
He had a lot to say. Now I'll go to the Ebert review.
Oh, Ebert, hit me. Did the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson try to bribe him with food in this review?
No, but
You were there for that.
Are you going to do his voice again, Bartek, or no?
well, I'm not gonna do it. Roger's spirit's gonna do it. Roger, get in my mouth. Ow! Roger Ebert, 2.5 stars. Thunderbirds, 2004. I run into Bill Paxton and Ben Kingsley occasionally, and have found them to be nice people. As actors, they are in the first rank. It's easy to talk to them, and so the next time I run into one of them, I think I'll just go ahead and ask what in the HE double hockey stick they were thinking when they signed up for Thunderbirds. My bet is that Paxton will grin sheepishly and Kingsley will twinkle knowingly.
You know what? That's actually what they would do. That's what they would do.
And they'll both say the movie looked like fun, and gently steer the conversation towards other titles. A Simple Plan, say, or A House of Sand and Fog.
Oh, Roger, you're an asshole.
This is a movie made for an audience that does not exist, at least in the land of North American multiplexes. Fans of the British TV puppet show that ran from 1964 to 1966. And this is a quote. While its failure to secure a US network sale caused the show to be cancelled after 32 episodes, writes David Rooney in Variety, the Super Marionation series still endures in reruns and on DVDs for funky sci-fi geeks and pop culture nostalgists. Brace yourself for this sentence, Ryan. I quote Rooney because I had never heard of the series, and, let's face it, neither have you.
What? You told me about that in the car. It was just ridiculous.
Still, I doubt that funky describes the subset of geeks and nostalgists who like it. The word kooky comes to mind, as in kooky yo-yos.
It's funny because I said let's go full kook with this.
It's gone off.
And Rhys, this is another thing that you said. Thunderbirds is to Spy Kids as Austin Powers is to James Bond. It recycles the formula in a campy 1960s send-up that is supposed to be funny. But how many members of the pre-teen audience for this PG movie are knowledgeable about the 1960s formica and polyester look? How many care? If the film resembles anything in their universe, it may be The Jetsons.
Wow.
A solemn narrator sets the scene. The Thunderbirds, we learn, are in real life the Tracy family. Dad is Jeff Tracy, Paxton, a billionaire who has built his secret headquarters in a South Pacific island, where his secret is safe because no one would notice spaceships taking off.
Thanks, Ebert. That was good. They should have that on his tombstone. That one line.
Let's face it, neither of you. His kids are named after astronauts: Scott, John, Virgil, and Gordon, and the youngest, Alan, Brady Corbet, who is the hero and thinks he is old enough to be trusted with the keys to the family rocket. His best friend, Fermat, Soren Fulton, Fulton was the actor's last name, I'm so sorry, is named after the theorem, but I am not sure if their best friend Tintin, Vanessa Hudgens, is named after the French comic book hero or after another Tintin. It's a common name.
Well done, Ebert.
Thank you.
The plot. The Hood, Kingsley, is a hero who, this is in brackets, recites in unison, seeks
villain,
world
you mean?
domination. His plan is to rob the Bank of London. Actually, it's multiple banks, but... The Thunderbirds are distracted when a Hood scheme endangers their permanently orbiting space station. And this is in brackets again. Did I mention Dad was a billionaire? And when Dad and the older... And when Dad and the older kids rocket off to save it, the coast is clear. Unless plucky young Alan, Fermat, and Tintin can pilot another rocket vehicle to London in time to foil them. In this, they are helped by Lady Penelope, Sophia Myers, and her chauffeur, Ron Kook. Is that it?
Cook.
Co-op.
Well, he helped me with Miles, so, you know. Alright, this is he's got 2 more paragraphs. As the Tracys rocket off to rescue the space station, I was reminded of the Bob and Ray radio serial where an astronaut stranded in orbit is reassured that our scientists are working to get you down with a giant magnet. Meanwhile, his mother makes sandwiches which are rocketed up to orbit. And this is in brackets. Nuts, he says. She forgot the mayonnaise.
Ebert, you machine.
And the final paragraph. Among the big Thunderbirds FX scenes is one where the kids use their rocket ship to rescue a monorail train that has fallen into the Thames. Is that the name of the river? Thames, I'm so sorry. This and everything else the Thunderbirds do seems to be covered on TV, but try to keep yourself from wondering where the TV cameras can possibly be and how they got there. Paxton was in Spy Kids 2, The Island of Lost Dreams, and at least knows this territory. Let it be said that he and Kingsley protect themselves. Paxton by playing a true blue 1960s hero who doesn't know his lines are funny, and Sir Ben by trying his best to play no one at all while willing himself invisible. A movie like this is harmless, I suppose, but except for the celluloid that was killed in the process of its manufacture. But as entertainment, it will send kids tiptoeing through the multiplex to sneak into Spider-Man 2.
That leads sneakily into my next review, the last one I have, called Forget the Critics. 10 stars.
Forget everything I just said.
Okay.
That he said.
As an almost 16-year-old girl,
Ooh, 15.
That's odd.
I have to admit what really first drew me into the Thunderbirds movie were, of course, the Tracy brothers. But you see, that would have made me shallow. Thank goodness I've actually watched a few episodes of the original on Tech TV and loved it. prior to this, so it made me less shallow. I watched this film with my 10-year-old sister last Tuesday afternoon. Even though I was totally anticipating this film weeks before its release, all the reviews I've seen or read were not so great. Not to mention, not a lot of people were attending it when we got to the theater. Despite these facts, I absolutely loved this film. Lady Penelope and Parker were just played brilliantly, having perfect comedic timing. Brains was just so funny with being so smart and yet having an almost slower version of Porky Pig's style of talking. Ben Kingsley gives an awesome performance as the Hood, and even though he did not give the same vibe as the original, Bill Paxton was pretty good as Jeff Tracy. And Mullion and Transom were okay, even though sometimes they felt unnecessary. Did we really need that seduction scene? Shudder. The other four Tracys were good. Were good given what they had. The three main characters were played very well. Brady does a great Alan, acting before thinking. Soren is also great, giving a very believable performance, as do Vanessa as Tintin, the sort of tomboy / love interest. The three actors have great chemistry together, and you could sense the closeness of the characters. The special effects are just amazing. The way the Thunderbirds maneuver is totally believable. And the plot, though truly cliche, was well put in this movie. Even though I loved it, I do have some gripes about this movie. Number 1. Since when does Kyrano pronounce Kurano? Out of all 3 times it was said, Ben Kingsley was the only one who got it right. Number 2, Ford. I know that you made FAB1, and I'm really grateful. I personally liked it. But I think it's highly impossible that in 6 years you would be the car of choice all over the world. Number 3. It didn't show enough of the family's background, how they were before their mother died, etc., etc. And I'm just saying this because the other 4 Tracy brothers didn't get enough screen time. Number 4. Could have used another 10 or 20 minutes, in my opinion. And then here's the end of it. Other than that, the movie is just plain awesome. Though it might not win an Oscar, Thunderbirds is definitely one of the year's best family films. Get past all those negative comments and reviews and you will truly find yourself a gem. So forget you, Ebert or Roper. I give this film 2 thumbs up. Here's hoping for a sequel.
Aww. Speaking of negative comments, there are some, but the first one is not negative. The first one is just simply greatest movie of my childhood. Child and hood are 2 separate words.
I gathered.
The next one is a negative one, though. And just to let you know, every word begins with a capital letter and it has 5 exclamation marks at the end.
Oh, that's good.
Movie sucks a-hole! That's
Well
capital
done.
A and the word hole in one. Alright. This one's a bit of a lenient person fighting with a not so lenient person.
Right.
Initial comment. It can be almost funny when adults criticize a movie that's for teenagers. Response. It's a fucking Thunderbirds film. Final response. For kids. This one has people... There's a lot of responses to this one. The most responses of these comments. And it's people kind of working out where the film should have been set. Initial comment. 2015 and still waiting to fly TB2. Response. Yup, that's what I call thunder bullshit. Response. Wait till 2065. That's when Thunderbirds takes place, but not according to this shit film. Response. I'll be older than Jeff Tracy. Response. Jeff would be 6 now. Response. When he grows up, he'll be one of the first men to land on the moon. ... Apparently. ... Maybe they'll find out the moon landing in the 60s was a hoax. Response. Maybe brains will erase everybody's memories of that and have them think it was Jeff. That's it.
Well, that just spiraled out of control.
That's all of them, huh?
No, there's still like 5 more.
Oh, good.
You're not enjoying these YouTube comments, Ryan?
Oh, they're magic. Aren't they? Aren't they, Rhys?
They are.
Shoot me some more.
Alright, Ryan.
Put them in me.
You know what this guy says? He says, I hate people who diss the motive just because it is a rip-off. Again, rip-off. But in my opinion, for what year it came out in, it killed other contestants. Also, it inspired me to start building, and now I have a job in both architecture and engineering. So shut up, let it go, and... Oh my God, I forgot about this one. So shut up, let it go, and stop being forgots. Faggots with a 1G only. I mean, seriously, I can't believe you cry about things like this. It's really sad. P.S. If you read this comment, you're at least kind enough to know how I feel.
Oh, we know how you feel, buddy. We know how you feel. Rhys is feeling it all over my table right now.
can't feel anything.
This next one has 2 parts to it.
Oh, great.
It's all one comment. Hola, amigos. ¿Quién me puede decir dónde encuentro la película completa en español?
I want to reveal
Sva-
something. I don't speak Polish.
Se los agradezco. But it's okay because the second half is in English.
Oh, good.
It's a translation. It says, hello, friends.
Hi.
Who can tell me where I find the full movie in Spanish? Please! I thank you.
I thank you too, buddy. I thank you too.
This person, he's been wronged by Hollywood before.
Okay.
Why does Hollywood ruin British property? There's no question marks in this, by the way. Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends. Thunderbirds. They both have failure Hollywood films. Thomas and the Magic Railroad. Thunderbirds. Thomas is set in England, so it should be railway. Thunderbirds are international rescue, so they should call them that.
Yes.
Another negative one.
Oh dear.
Speaking of me using the word another, that's the first word of this comment. Another case of Hollywood hands on British property.
Oh, no.
Trespassers. The next comment.
Wait, you had nothing to say to that.
No, I had nothing.
he just thinks that Hollywood are trespassers.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. Because they're like, we're archaeologists and they're the thieves.
Alright, when I speak louder, it's because it gets into all caps and lots of exclamation marks.
Okay.
I would hope so.
The 2004, or Jonathan Frakes version, sucks ass!
Damn.
The original 1965 puppet series kicks ass than this crap!
Wow. That was
That kicks
mean.
more ass. We got 2 more, then we're done.
Oh, no.
How do you think we survived 2012?
I don't know.
Thunderbirds. Their secret, remember?
Oh.
And look, we've heard a lot of negative comments, and we've heard a lot of positive comments, but all around, this last comment just gets it, you know? The last comment is, I loved this film when I was younger, and I still do, smiley face.
Aw. That's quite a nice note to end on, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Rhys,
Yes.
although you can't feel breath,
Oh, for God's sake!
I thank you for coming on the show.
I'm leaving.
He's leaving. He's wearing children's underpants. Thank you, Rhys, for attending this event of your life, which is called Your Suicide.
My reputation suicide.
We
yes.
did say that Rhys is going to die by the end of this episode.
Yes.
Bartek, as always, you've been fantastic. You saw to the end of this episode and you said it wasn't good.
What?
earlier in this episode, you said that you've already seen to the end of this episode, and you said it wasn't good.
You don't know what happens after you say, take care of you guys, something bad happens.
Oh, no!
Yeah.
As always, you guys have been fantastic, amazing, wonderful, superfluously great listening people, as always. And if you guys do want to give us a rating on our iTunes, that would be very much appreciated. We also have our Facebook page, which you can like. And if you do want to suggest a movie to us, feel free. We have our Facebook page in which we have a post on there, because we may not know the movies to cover on Unappreciated Masterpieces, because there's a reason they're unappreciated, because they're not that well regarded. They're not that well in the populace. They're not a word of mouth as much as they should be. And we may not know of them, and you'll be sitting there going, when are they going to do it? And we may never do it. When? Please do suggest it. Other than that, remember to catch your breath. You can't feel that. You can't feel air.
Get on with it.
As always, remember to be kind to each other.
Yes. Now, Rhys, in the last episode you were on, Race to Witch Mountain, you made a comment that you're not good at improvisation.
Indeed I did, yes, that's correct.
Why don't we just do a quick improvisation exercise, just to end this episode off?
Okay.
All three of us.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Should we do like a word at a time, or like a sentence at a time thing?
Sure.
Alright, which one? Like word or sentence?
Word.
Word. Alright, word.
Word association.
Oh, okay.
A word association, not like creating a story?
Oh, we can. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, alright. So what should our story be about?
It should be about how hard it is to catch your breath. How one cannot feel
it's
it.
gone on, let's just do it. Stuff it.
Alright,
Rhys is dead on the inside.
who should start?
Ryan.
Oh, okay.
Alright, one word at a time. We'll go Ryan, me, Rhys.
Right.
Once
There,
Was.
a
boy,
Who.
couldn't
catch,
breath
he,
Tried.
very
very,
hard
to,
Catch.
that
damn!
What? Oh, yeah, right.
we're waiting on you. Is this where
But.
we fail?
Get the damn butt. Alright, he's talking about bums. Go ahead.
No, I said but.
Plug
In,
The.
mouth
where,
His.
tongue.
is,
Place.
What was that?
placed.
Placed. Fuck
Me!
Dead.
boy.
Yeah!
However.
My
Dad,
Once.
held
a, turtle.
fart.
Was that turtle fart?
You once held a turtle
Okay.
fart.
In,
The.
C.
where,
His.
in the sea where
Son
his had
Sex.
and
died.
Wait, what's the sentence?
where his son had sex and died.
Where his dad held
A
a
turtle
turtle
fart
fart
in
in the
the-
sea where his son had sex and died? Is that the end of the story or
Finn.
Finn?
Till next time, guys. Remember to not catch turtle farts in your head at a beach where your son had sex and died.
And I swear to God, if I find a transcript of our story on Tumblr and it's not associated to us, I'm gonna be so pissed!
If it's on Reddit, we're fine with that.
Yes, or 4chan.